Okay, and we're live, I think. I'm looking. Okay, this is what it did last time, kids. The desktop audio got messed up somehow. Can you guys speak real quick?
Hi, I'm
Okay,
here.
cool. Awesome.
Hello.
Yeah, last episode we had a difficulty with the audio in the beginning, so I just wanted to make sure everybody was in. Cool. So welcome to Lady Gamers Night presents The Sister Slay. We are now on episode 5. Can you believe it? Last episode, Adam couldn't be with us, our DM, so we went ahead and did a flashback episode about how the Sister Slay came together.
It's my flashback animation.
Erendil, Jayas, and Janaga went on a mission with Ilaria, or for Ilaria, and that's how they met Amelia. And then I don't know, the VOD's up still, I think, and we'll put it on YouTube, so you can check that out. Yeah. But now Adam's back, so it's good to be back. Yeah, we're back to adventure. Real quick, like always, we were collecting donations for charity. This week, our donations are still going to Stronger Than Storms and Random Acts. They have now broadened their relief efforts. It started with Hurricane Harvey, then it moved to Hurricane Irma, now it also includes Hurricane Maria. So all these areas that are affected, Texas, Florida, Puerto Rico, all the islands, any donations collected are going straight to them. So it's really great cause. So if you could go ahead, the donation stuff is all underneath the stream. And as always, we will choose a random winner at the end of the donation week, and you'll win one of these lovely handmade custom chainmail dice bags. It only takes, you only have to donate $1 to be entered. I mean, hopefully you donate more, but only $1. So with that being said, I'm going to go over. I'm going to switch. Nope, I can't do that with my laptop mouse. Sure can't. And then we're going to hand it on over to Adam.
All right. It's good to be back, y'all. I missed you guys.
Oh, we always miss you.
Missed you too. I'm not giving you shit anymore.
Well, first off, I want to say thank you to Charlie for taking over last time.
You absolutely
did an amazing job.
It's very well done.
It was definitely a rough thing to take on because we're an unruly bunch.
I mean, it also looks like you guys just had a blast, so that's what really matters. And y'all had a lot of fun. She killed it. You all did great.
I mean,
we discovered ice cream. Yeah, we discovered ice cream.
We discovered ice cream, and Jayas discovered that 3 ice cream is not 3 gold.
She tried giving the dude 3 gold.
Yeah, you know.
These things, they happen.
I was gonna let her do it.
Because why not? Alright, so I'm going to do my best to recap here because it's been about a month since we played this campaign. So, you all were petitioned by Madame Hercule to find her 2 lost children who were on an adventuring party to the Sunless Citadel in search of some treasure as well as this magical fruit that claims to heal and have restorative properties. When you finally found this on the Citadel, you went underground and you found the, not the Goblin City, but the other city with Meepo. And you went on an adventure to help find their lost dragon Calcerix, who you were able to locate and safely return home after befriending the dragon and returning them to society. You then continued deeper into the Citadel, reaching the Grove levels, defeating the Goblin King. However, when you reached the bottom of the Grove well, you noticed some strange types of monsters you haven't encountered before here. The appearance of skeletons that were tending some underground gardens in this fetid, rotting, piles of dead leaves and plants that just simply aren't surviving, kind of changed the environment and changed the tone. You feel like you're no longer dealing with what was above the surface level of the Citadel and are getting towards something much more insidious. It wasn't long after descending into the well that you were ambushed by a hunter with his 2 pet giant rats. You dispatched him quickly, and you all took refuge in his little humble abode, air quotes, and camped up for the night. After taking turns maintaining watch throughout the evening, and it's been very quiet, nothing has kind of come in to bother you. Everyone is fully rested, all of your hit points are restored, your spells are back, you're refreshed and ready to continue. What would you like to do?
First, I would like to restore those hit points.
Yeah.
So I took a beating. Okay. Can I just say real quick, having our level, what are we, level 3 now?
You're level 3, yes.
Yes.
Having these character sheets versus our level 1 character sheets.
Oh my god, man.
A little bit
So we're
different.
complaining about I did just fine.
You all did fine.
Thank you.
Okay. Actually.
See, what? So,
We're back to full health, that's what you said?
Yes.
Yes. Full health. E has all of her spells back, so does Urki.
Oh, my poor
And-
Urki, I keep forgetting about
I
him.
know. I forget
any,
Urki, like it's
Oh,
my
I did.
job.
It's not that hard. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I want to actually try and figure out a way if I can give you guys control of him so that you can move him around. But I don't think that there is
We're
because
gonna be
he's a
fighting
monster.
over him.
Yeah, he's a
Give it to
monster on
Gavin.
NPC.
give it to J-Oz.
Give me the power of Urki.
Yeah, okay.
Give me the
Okay.
power over the little one.
What could possibly go wrong?
we fight over a baguette the entire time.
Ooh, I can allow you to edit and control him.
I thought you were gonna be like, ooh, you can fight over a baguette the entire
I
time.
thought that's what you were gonna say too. Like you were gonna have a baguette sword or something.
I mean, it's
You can just
D&D,
make
you
that.
can do that.
I mean, you can do whatever you want. So I have
Wait.
just...
It's Dungeons and
Your
Dragons,
sheath is a
y'all.
baguette.
That would be
Uh,
hilarious.
Oh no, they changed the spells thing. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll work on that later.
Can I ask real quick before we really dive in? Is anybody else
Yes.
having trouble with their character sheet? Mine is different.
In what way?
Mine doesn't have all my things written in.
Yeah, I'm noticing
Mine-
that too.
Hasn't for a while.
Oh.
Huh?
It
Hmm.
says something settings. Please hold
Looking
while we
for-
have our
Oh,
weekly
wait, there's a thing
technical
on the
difficulty
bottom.
under
There's
general
a-
options.
Oh, Roll20, you updated things on us. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
like
there's
Okay.
a thingy on the bottom that says looking for missing data.
under general options and then feats and traits, set the section to be simple, like me.
General... feats and traits. Oh. That's right. I don't want to hijack your character sheets. So worst case scenario, I have all of your character sheets transported over to D&D Beyond,
Yeah.
Oh,
which
yeah,
you
that's
should all have access to still. I'll drop the link in our chat here so you guys can jump back in. But it should allow you to access your character for the campaign.
I mean, everything else I have is there. I just don't have my specific details of
Yeah.
like what my other abilities and like.
Yeah, that's I don't have all my fun revisions.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
I know you're
Let me
in my
go
sheet,
through.
it's freaking me out.
I'm gonna try and set us all back to simple for this week, and then we'll figure this out between shows.
Yeah, do that.
Attributes, multi-class options, save options. Wow, there's so many like sneaky options in here that I've never seen before.
Lots of things to
Episode
do.
5, roll 20 while you update. Also,
I'm not seeing the things they're talking about.
who's logging in from San Dimas? God. Keep
Oh,
getting-
sorry, that was me. I was trying to get into Steel Asset.
I know, I'm just getting notifications. Yeah, it says switch to simple, but I'm not seeing it either. And then here, I'll do this on the big screen so everybody can see what we're talking about. Hey, that's me. Usually,
Okay.
we would have all kinds of stuff written in these nice little side panels. But we're getting this. Your data is in the simple version that can be re-enabled from the settings gear tab of the character
Of the character sheet.
Okay.
General options, feats and traits.
still throws me whenever you mess with my stuff.
Better options.
I can see you doing it.
I don't see a gears tab.
Found it. I found it. Found it. Found it. Boom. Okay, so I fixed E's sheet already, kind of.
Hey, thank you for letting me be the guinea pig because I'm technologically inclined.
So I see what they did. They updated the character sheet so that they're compatible with the in-game compendium now, which will be awesome once we get that set up. So sometime between now and our next show, I will have to get these changed so that we can all use it. But everyone should be able to go back to their core page now and see all the stuff that was there before, hopefully.
I put a lot of work into that sheet.
Okay.
With all those names.
No, mine's still showing blank.
No, it's still showing blank, but I changed the thing.
Oh, general options.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm watching you do it.
There we go.
Yay! And again, for our viewers, now you see what we're talking about. See all these fun things written in here? All these fun things. That's what we needed.
Yay!
By the way, for anyone curious, yes, that is what a DM's nightmare looks like. Trying to remember what everything is. Trying to figure out what the hell Sylvan Learning Center means.
Obviously, it means I speak Sylvan.
Right. How could I possibly forget?
I don't know.
Okay, so everybody's all set now. We should be good to go. Sorry for the brief delay of game there. Let's go right into it. What would y'all like to do?
Alright, so since we're all rested up, let me look at the actual map. Now, there was nothing further this way, right? We had gone up there.
Correct. Once you went north, there's a rock formation that kind of tumbled in.
Right.
It would normally allow further access, however, at this time you're unable to clear it.
And I think I had started going towards a door down in the south, and then I was like, oh, there's shit there, let me not. And then I think we took a nap. So I think we should continue exploring.
Alright,
Yeah,
so
let's do that.
exploration it is. I'm gonna clear some of these dead bodies here in the next. Oh no, I don't need to.
Yeah, just let them rot. It's fine.
They're just gonna be there. It's fine.
There's some dead bodies, guys. It's fine.
It's fine. All right.
We go north. Should we head further north?
What's it? North is where there's the rock slide.
Oh, okay.
Situation.
Okay. So the only place we can go is we came from down. Where else can we go?
There is a door.
So when you when you guys came from the south, there were a couple different exits that you could explore as well.
Right. So,
if you want to move into the next room, I'll tell you what you see.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back down, and I'm gonna hope there's no traps because we already went through this business.
Roll a perception check.
Oh, jeez.
Hold on, I gotta. Oh God, what? Oh, I was still on the gears. I was like, where is it? Perception. I'm gonna do great today.
That's okay, just get it out of the way right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, get them rolls out now. As you move through the central garden chamber, there is nothing that seems to stand out of note.
Just a bunch of dead bodies.
Yep.
All
just
right.
the dead bodies.
Since I can't remember what was down at this door, I'm gonna go back to this door and be like, I feel like I've done this before. Let me check it out.
So there's two doors in this room. There's one along the eastern wall, which is, from your point of view, along the right where you're standing, and then you have the south end door right behind you.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you doing at the door?
I'm gonna check it for traps.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check, please.
Not
14.
as bad.
Okay, so you test the lock, you look around, you kind of check above and below the door. Nothing seems to be out of place. You do try the door handle, and it's unlocked.
Alright. I'm gonna call back to the girls and be like, okay, I'm gonna go through this door now. Like,
Do you do it out Do you do it out loud or do you do it through the earring?
Knowing me, I just do it out loud. I forget about the earring all the time.
Okay.
So like now that we're well rested, I am, no cares.
I say, no cares, and possibly still not awake yet.
I'm just like, I'm just gonna go find a warm cup of milk and a bread. I'm just gonna go see what there is to see in this dungeon.
Fair enough. So you move into the next door. Girls, when you hear her call out, what do? Anything?
Tell her not to kill herself.
I'm gonna talk back to her.
Just scream if you're in danger.
So everyone else responds over the earring.
Everybody else is like, hush, hush,
just like piled on top of each other.
Alright, cool.
Okay. So, Jayaz, as you cross the threshold of the door, you come into a long hallway. And as you look down the hallway, you see a rift in the ground. So, where the hallway looks like it should have continued is almost as if by sheer force, someone had grabbed two sides of the hallway and forced it apart from each other. Looking straight down, you see the floor drops about 2 feet into earth and rubble, and then about 10 feet across from that is what you imagine the inside of the wall would have been for the rest of the structure. You look further down to your right as you continue down the hallway and see that the matching end of this hallway has actually shifted 10 feet to your right, as if someone had pulled and pushed it apart.
Interesting.
As you look down into the rift, you see a number of small 2-foot diameter holes, like not that big, maybe like a circle, that kind of dot the earth, kind of pockmarking it, and you smell burnt earth. Just kind of
like totally there. Probably isn't one of those fire traps where it's like poof, 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 up through the up through the ground whatsoever.
Indiana Jones.
Like how wide is the gap between here and then the like where the hallway is on the other side?
So it is 5, 10, 15. It's technically 20 feet diagonal if you were looking at it this way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's it's a short step down, and as you look to the left and the right, you also notice that the rift itself that's been torn and that's been opened continues to the north and south of that hallway. So you have a couple different options.
What's the likelihood if I got a good running start I could jump over this rift?
You can give it a try.
All right, so I'll use the earring first now that I'm in the separate room. And I'm gonna say I'm gonna make mistakes.
Mistakes will be made.
just so they know.
They will be great.
Okay. Are you all still hanging out in the hunter's abode, or any of you?
I'm gonna turn back to Amelia and Janaga and be like, anything different?
Well,
and be like, come on, let's go, you guys. She's gonna need us eventually.
Why do we always have to clean up her mess?
You know when you wake up and like you're just not thinking right?
That's me all the time.
I'm probably still thinking about ice cream.
Technically, that's me right now too. So.
Okay.
And I guess we'll all follow in tow then. Do you want to?
I guess.
So as they're coming through the door, though, I already want to be making my jump. Just.
Like what? I cut out for half a second.
Yeah, what was that?
As you guys are coming in through the door, I want to already be making my jump, so nobody stops me.
Okay.
So would that be athletics?
I remember that.
Yes. So go ahead. And are you getting a running start, or are you? Just
I'm gonna running start.
Okay.
I'm gonna like lick my finger, feel for there's absolutely no wind, and then running start.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an athletics check.
Let's go with that first one. I keep forgetting about my double clicks.
Yeah.
You know, my laptop double clicks.
Oh, Mike. Okay. So, Jayaz, you using your dark vision, because it's very dark in here and you don't have a lit torch until the girls enter. As you're about to take off, you hear the door open behind you, and at this point it's too late for anyone to stop you. You're just going to do what you're going to do. You get a good 10-foot running start, and as soon as your foot feels the edge of the rocky earth where it cuts off, you just leap out into, and you almost make it. You land right back here. You're just shy of the ledge, but you land, you plant yourself. The earth underneath of you is a little soft. It's kind of forgiving as opposed to the concrete you've been on for the last who knows how many days at this point. But nothing happens.
So as I land, I'm going to be like, and then kind of like, oh wait, nothing happened. And like, take kind of a breath and then step up onto the actual thing.
Exactly.
Into safety.
Perfect.
Boring.
Was that a car that like passed by?
It's a train.
Because when you went, and then I heard it, I was like, the car hit you.
That's the car sound effect that I had queued up to hit Jayaz as she was charged.
It's like, how did the car get in this chasm?
So you all see Jayaz leap. You can't quite see where she landed from your position in the hallway. However, you heard her landing and had to go, and then nothing.
Okay. How big is the gap?
The gap is about 15 feet straight across, give or take. There's an angle if you wanted to try and make it to the other one. It's about 20 feet wide if you wanted to try and make the jump. However, you could easily walk across the chasm there. It's only a 2 foot down, 2 foot up.
Okay, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Why did she jump?
So that it's safe to cross?
So as you approach, you look down and you see the earth, and it's fresh. It's not freshly turned, but it's churned earth. It's not quite as firm as something that's been exposed to the elements and is hardened over time. It feels similar to kind of like rich soil that you would expect plants to grow in. Just kind of soft and squishy, not anything that would impede your movement. You do notice that there are these, every once in a while, 2 foot holes that just go into the earth pretty far down. But that's about it. That's all you see.
Don't like that.
Well, that's why I jumped.
Who in the party has dark vision? I think Jazz.
I do. Yes.
Okay.
I do.
So, for those of you that have dark vision, you don't notice it as easily, but Amelia, as you approach the threshold here, as the chasm itself spans to the left and right of you, you notice further down on the right, past the hallway where Jayaz is, you see a faint glow kind of coming from this side of the rift there.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because we see brighter, so we wouldn't notice it as well.
Right, basically, you're seeing everything in
Daylight.
in colors of gray, basically. Creatures with dark vision don't see color in the dark, but they see muted grays and white, varying colors of white to black, essentially. Because
we're like dogs. That's how I have to put it.
I imagine it's like when people watch Ghost Hunters, it's like that kind of camera.
Yeah.
With your eyes.
The green screen. Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess I relate this to the other girls.
So it's just a faint glow coming from down the end of the tunnel thing?
Yeah, there's just a
Yeah, it's
glow.
very faint, almost imperceivable for creatures that can see in normal, visibility. Those that are hindered by the darkness down here, or maybe they have a lit torch, can see just the faintest glimmer of some kind of light source at the bottom.
Okay.
I point to it because I'm still in a bad mood, and I'm like, look at that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She's salty
Look at
because we had ice cream without her years ago.
About
That's
years ago. We weren't training for years.
I think that she's actually more upset with E right now.
Oh, that's right.
Basically it.
So I guess while they're still looking at that, like, Jayas is so tunneled vision that, like, something has to be down this hallway.
Oh,
Okay.
So I want to move down the hallway
Okay.
But very cautiously, because if you guys haven't noticed, she's paranoid as fuck.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Alright.
Because you're being, like, sneaky,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, real sneaky like. Like a cow in a... I almost said a barnyard.
I mean,
Don't be like an ox.
an 8's not a terrible number. So you kind of, like, hunch over and do one of those, like, cartoon villain creeps
Exactly
down the
it.
hallway. You aren't making a lot of noise, however, you're definitely not concealed in any fashion. You're just kind of tiptoeing with your hands up like this, going down the hallway.
I'm probably also like humming to myself, like.
I was gonna say you've got to have sound
Panther.
playing with you. To go on.
As you get to the end of the hallway, you end with a flourish by basically throwing yourself against the wall. Da-da-da.
You know me so well.
I'm not gonna risk going first.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say 'cause I can't think of how to do this.
I guess I could try. I mean, I'm a rogue.
We'll go back.
So are you sneaking down the towards the south end of the chasm, or are you coming across the hallway with Jayaz?
I'm gonna sneak down to the... Shit, what did I just do?
To the chasm.
Is that my theme music?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Well done.
I can see her walking in my head.
Oh yeah.
So I picked the Pink Panther. It's perfect.
Dear Twitch, please don't
No.
pull
Yeah.
video.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
We don't have the license. We don't have the license. Royalty free. Royalty free.
We're good. Yeah.
Oh, what is it? Hashtag
Just like
fair
a
use, fair use.
playlist.
Yeah.
What
Very
do I
useful.
roll to sneak again?
Go ahead and
I
roll.
need a soundboard for these moments.
Yep.
Yeah, roll a stealth check. 17, not bad. Alright, go ahead and you start making your way down. Get right around the corner here. Let me make some,
You walking fast.
to do real quick here.
Why won't you on this
So that's number 45. 45.
What's number 45?
The room number for me. Sorry.
I was thinking of something else.
Sneaking behind the curtain.
Like, what kind of demon is number 45?
Number 45.
Number 45. Mambo.
Okay.
Number 45.
So Amelia, as you round the corner here, being as stealthy as you can,
Mm-hmm.
you see this creature that is asleep,
Oh boy.
resting towards the back of the chasm. It seems to be the source of light. You also notice that as you approach where the chasm itself had been fairly damp and slightly cooler, towards this end of the chasm you start feeling warmth from this chamber, and it's noticeably warmer as you get closer and closer. So as you continue to come through, you can kind of make out the features of this sleeping beast. It has kind of a long beak-like structure and this snake-like body, easily maybe 6 feet long and thick. Its eyes are closed. It has these things that appear to be flames kind of licking off of its body a little bit. And it looks like this.
I wish y'all could see my face right now because this thing sounds awesome.
I knew there was gonna be a
Oh,
snake.
no. I'm gonna sneak back out.
I was gonna say, can I shout to her? Do you need any assistance?
Jesus.
Not with the earring. You're gonna shout it.
Adam, please don't let me be punished by their mistakes.
I mean, you have to say, like,
So you make it about this far
wouldn't deliberate that much.
when you hear Janaga's voice just kind of echo through the chasm off of the stone walls,
Shit.
and the snake rouses very quickly as it feels and hears, a threat in the cavern.
I'm not a threat. I'm leaving. Don't.
You are pretty far away. You're not near it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're not like...
It's a It's a snake that's on fire, guys. Like, I don't know.
Like the name
Amelia's
says.
not good with snakes, in case you haven't noticed this by now.
I'm gonna need everyone to go ahead and roll initiative, please.
That's fine. I have a real big want to see this thing, so.
Woo!
Do I get advantage because it was sleeping?
No, because any element of
Yeah.
surprise you would have had for a surprise round was ruined by Janaga.
I always forget the turn tracker.
I know, I
Turn
forget the
trackle.
tracker too.
That's okay, I got you guys. Let me open up the character sheet for the
There
snake
it goes.
here.
There's the best roll I'll get all night.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Oh, I
You
do.
probably know that. Alright, let's see here. I do like that there's an actual initiative button now instead of me just clicking on things and like constantly
Yeah, I was gonna
accidentally
say,
rolling
was it a
initiative.
button or not?
It used to not be a button. So for me,
Yeah.
I used to have to click on the fire snake name to roll it, which of course I
Yeah.
click the name all the frickin' time. Alright, so
We have it.
Janaga, Amelia, I'm missing Jayaz. Okay, add to turn tracker.
Because Jayaz is off on a mission.
Yeah, because yeah, a mission.
Maybe she smells bread or something. She's.
That's what she smells in the Sunless Citadel. Bread.
Yeah, yeah.
Not the smell of death or anything. Bread.
Yeah, bread.
Sourdough.
She's like, she does that Oprah thing where she's like, I love bread. I
Love.
bread.
Alright, so combat has begun. Janaga, it is your turn first. However, Amelia, as a free action, did you want to yell out to the party or use your earring to let them know what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay, so you clutch onto your
Yell.
earring as you see the snake kind of wake up and rouse. What do
I'm
you
gonna
say?
say, you idiots. Now we have a giant fire snake to deal with. Get your asses down
We
here.
can take it.
Alright, so combat has begun. Janaga, you're up first. What would you like to do?
I think I need to move if I want to do anything. So
Yes, you do.
let me see.
Now, you are still quite some distance from the cave
Yeah.
here. So what you can do is, normally you can move 30 feet. However, if you wish to take a dash action and not do anything else your turn, you can move up to double that speed. So you could move here, and then you can move again up to, like, about where Amelia is currently standing.
You know what? I'll do that.
Alright,
I'll
go ahead
do
and
a little dash.
move your dude.
Whoops, I'm still on ruler.
That's good, I do the same thing all the time.
Yeah, I'm just measuring things.
So you do still have a bonus action. Is there anything that you can do with that? Probably not right now.
Yeah, I don't think right now I can do anything. So no, my turn's done.
Okay. Jayaz, you rolled next in the initiative order. You hear over this earring Amelia call out for assistance. What would you like to do?
First, I'm gonna look longingly at the door that's in front of me, and I'm just gonna reach out to it, and then and then I'm gonna hustle my way over to them.
Okay.
So I could double move, right? If I'm not doing anything else.
Correct. So you can get about there with 40 feet of movement.
As long as I can get into the, yeah.
So you can
say,
get
I can go 60, right?
Yeah, you'll be able to go 60. You can actually get right behind Janaga in either of these two squares.
All right, so that's what I'm gonna do.
So you've got enough range to get there.
I'm gonna stack up, and I'm gonna be like, you owe me big time.
To me?
Well, I was gonna get on the earring and say, well, the three of us were able to beat a necromancer when you were off with the bakery boy, so you could have stayed there.
Oh,
The three of us could have taken the
Wait,
assault.
you're saying it on the earring as I'm standing behind you?
No, as you were moving. As you were
Yeah.
moving.
I'm just gonna say you don't know what you think you do, or I'm just gonna make
I
some
don't
quip.
know what I think I do.
Yeah.
You don't
He's
know.
gloating about it. What do you mean we don't know?
But I get there breathlessly.
You got there.
I'm ready.
Okay. So you arrive. You still have a bonus action that you can use.
I do
However-
still have a bonus action, but I think I can only use that for my my second hand weapon, right? I don't think I have any other.
Correct. But obviously nothing's in range, so we wouldn't be able to use that. However, I believe your Hunter's Mark spell is a bonus action if you want to use that now. You have 3 spell slots for the day, all refreshed. So you could use Hunter's Mark now if you would like, or you can save it for a later fight, or you can save it for later in this fight. But
I'm gonna click it to see. Oh yeah, it is a bonus action. All right, so yeah, I am gonna use Hunter's. For some reason, I thought it was something.
It does the double. Why does it do that for you?
It's my laptop. It's my laptop.
So I have all of your character sheets open on D&D Beyond on my separate screen here, so I got you.
Okay. So I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on the fire snake, and as I am casting it and having to concentrate on the snake, I'm just gonna be like, I hate snakes, like the whole time.
Okay.
Like I guess I don't think they said over the earring that it was a snake, so like I rush in to be like, oh this, and yeah.
A certain person woke up by screaming.
Yeah.
You know, take it. Come on.
We are the most subtle of adventuring parties, so you know. Alright, so
we all sneak.
Your Hunter's Mark appears on the fire snake. The fire snake is unaware of this fact. However, I put a green dot on there to help remind you of what it does.
I was gonna say, does that mean he's online?
So that green dot gives you an extra 1d6 whenever you hit. So if you roll an attack, you can add an additional 1d6 to do your damage. You also have advantage on any perception or survival checks made to find it if it gets away.
Nice.
If it drops to 0 hit points and there's another enemy nearby, you can shift it to a new target. At this time, you see no other things in the room.
Awesome.
Does that end your turn?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So the fire snake, now newly roused from his slumber, is going to make his movement here.
I don't think E went. Did E go?
E rolled a
bad number.
I rolled a 20.
Oh, no, she did do better.
Yeah. No, I advanced it on Jaws. That's my fault. No, E, it is your turn. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm getting killed.
I heard that. I heard that.
He's a rogue.
So you can make it right behind. It is weird how the movement here worked out. You can make it right behind Jaws. With only 30 feet of movement, so you could actually double your speed to go into the room if you needed to, or we can all use that as kind of like a choke point and just kind of gang up.
I want to imagine it though, very like comical that we're all peering around the corner, like stacked one on top of the other.
Style thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Zoinks! There's a fire snake.
I'm sitting here wishing that we were like all magicians and we could just make one sonic boom into the room. We're all lined up.
We'll make it happen.
Kind of can.
I was gonna say she comes up behind me, uses thunderclap, and just everyone
like
goes.
Okay.
You know what? Come to think of it, that sounds like fun.
Okay.
What?
It's about to
I like that. What?
Wait, hold on. That would not affect this fire snake, though, at all.
No, it's not even close enough, but I really...
But it would be funny.
Really funny. I'll save that to when I'm, like, pissed at everybody.
Okay.
So, you're telling me that I can choose to go around everybody? Is that what you said?
So if you dash, you can. So you get to where you're currently at with your 30 feet. If you decide you want to use dash as your action, you can move an additional 30 feet.
Okay, so each square is 5?
Yes.
Okay. I will dash to here.
Okay.
Oh, he's 25 feet away still. I don't think I can reach him. Is it 20 or 10 feet for the poison spray?
Poison spray is a 10-foot range.
Let me write that down. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so just to make it easy so my turn can get finished, I'm just gonna use my short bow.
I'm sorry, you're gonna what? It cut out a little bit.
Short bow?
Short
I'm
bow.
sorry,
Okay.
my long bow, I don't have a short bow. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
so since you used your action to do additional movement,
Okay.
you wouldn't have an additional action phase to attack with.
Oh shit. Okay.
Did you wanna take that back and go back to your other position?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll pop you back there.
I want to imagine she actually is like, oh shit, and then runs back behind us.
That's exactly what happened.
Runs in,
Okay,
goes to like
over.
poison spray. It's like, runs back. Okay.
I mean, because there's no freaking way I can hit this guy. I'll just, I'll kindly pat, you know, Jayaz and Janaga and be like, you got this.
Thank you for the $10 donation, Ben Gygax. You are awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yay.
Ben, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Shut up.
Please tell me you're related to Gary Gygax. I would
No. Spelled differently.
You know what? I love it, even if it's not.
It's now canon.
All right.
So anyway,
I don't like it.
I will dispense with my turn.
Okay.
I don't think I can do
it
anything else
is
with
now
it,
the
so
fire
I'm gonna wait for
snake's
your
turn. He is going to slither his way along, kind of like his trailed S-shaped body, moving across very quickly, getting to about 10 to 15 feet away from Amelia, and looking towards the source of this, you know, what woke him up and what dangers are being presented. He flicks his tongue out, kind of sensing around him. The interesting thing to note is as the snake moves through the cavern and gets closer, you start to feel the heat from the end of the cave move towards you and start radiating hotter.
Oh.
And now the heat on your skin is starting to almost feel like little pinpricks, like when you stand in front of a fire for too long. Starting to feel a little bit like that. Amelia, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Oh, 10.
I'm sorry, what are we doing?
She used her short bow.
Okay, perfect. 10. So you take your short bow, you line up your shot, and as you fire, the heat kind of impacting you very quickly throws you off a little bit as you turn your face away. You loose the arrow, however, it flies just wide of where the snake is currently.
Okay.
Is there anything else you would like to do?
No. I think that's it.
Okay. Got it. We are now back at the top of the round. Janaga, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm using my short bow too, because I'm kind of far.
Okay, go ahead.
Huh, alright.
That is an 18. That does hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
10.
10 points of piercing damage. Okay, so Amelia is kind of blocking the heat from hitting you. You're not getting it quite as severely. You line up your shot, let the arrow fly, and you manage to pierce it in center mass. And the snake lets out this reeling kind of screech as the bolt connects, suffering 10 points of piercing damage.
Told you we could take it.
I
I may be stupid, but I know how to defend.
Nothing.
Is there anything else you'd like to do for your turn?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Jayaz, it is now your turn. What would you like?
Okay, I'm gonna pull out Lego Yas to shoot him. Now,
Okay.
I'm assuming because I'm like a foot taller than the two in front of me, like I won't have disadvantage.
They won't hit us.
You don't have disadvantage. That is
Okay.
correct.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and first I'm gonna take a bite of bread because we've been down here a while.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Oh, and so that's a 15. But I was also looking because I'm I do archery fighting style now. It's this +2 bonus to attack rolls I make with ranged weapons. So would that be a 17?
Yes, it would.
Okay, so 17.
17 hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
All right, so it would be this plus 1d6, right? Because
Correct.
I'm
Yep, so just open up the dice roller and then
Yeah.
tap the d6 die.
great.
Boom. So an additional point of damage.
Fantastic.
Hey, it's one more than you did before.
It is. So 8.
Alright. So, as you withdraw Legolas from over your shoulder, line up your shot, and your hunter's mark sort of guides your arrow. As you loose it and it flies through the air, it aims towards its head, and you manage to pierce what you believe to be its neck because it's a snake-like body. However, you're pretty sure you hit the windpipe. And the fire snake's screech that it let out from being hit by Janaga's initial bolt is cut short as it starts to weep and spit blood and kind of this heat, like it's not magma, but hot fire also starts to kind of leak from its mouth a little bit. It's looking in really, really, really rough shape.
Nice.
I never
E, it is now your turn.
Oh, I feel really bad for this thing. So, I'm gonna try to be courteous. Can I move right here? Is that a space I can occupy?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I want to poison spray it just because I feel really bad for this person.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll, or your poison spray roll. I think that's what I have to make a saving throw, right, against your.
It's not letting me click it.
That's okay. So poison spray is a 10-foot range, and I have to make a 13 Constitution saving throw. So it succeeds on its Constitution saving throw and takes half of damage. Go ahead and roll a 1d12. Alright.
So much
So
sympathy.
So half of 1 is 1. Because we can't go less than 1.
That's not what I learned in math.
Hey, this is D&D math. This is different math. So
negatives in here.
As you launch your poison spray forward, as you move, you start charging it, and you almost throw it kind of like a very airy softball as you approach. And it hits the fire snake in the face. However, the heat emanating from it kind of disperses the fumes as much as it can. You do note that some of it does make contact, and it seems to be interacting with the snake in a somewhat negative way. However, you can't identify any real solid damage from it.
I'm gonna turn to Amelia and say, please, just kill it. It's hey. We came into it.
Is there anything else that you'd like to do?
I'll go off in a corner and cry for this poor creature.
Look, as much as I would love to keep it as a pet, I really feel it would not have listened to any of us.
So, you did only move 10 feet of movement. You still have 20 feet if you'd like to move again.
Like if you want to hide.
Yeah, that will be my thing.
Okay. So you kind of pop in, throw the poison spray, and then you come back.
Yeah.
It is now Fire Snake's turn. Fire Snake is going to slither up closer.
Why do you gotta keep saying that? Slither. He can't just move?
Oh no, because that's how he's moving. He's making that weird little S-bend, how snakes sometimes do.
He's a snake! He looks like a snake!
Yeah. And he is going to make 2 attacks here. So the first one is going to be a bite attack against Amelia. That is an 18, which hits. It deals 4 points of piercing damage and then 2 points of fire damage for a total of 6. And as it makes its bite attack, it comes in and manages to connect some of the liquid fire landing on you. And although it hits leather, you can kind of feel your skin begin to blister underneath of it as you raise it to block the attack. And then it turns and tries to make a tail attack at Janaga, who is partially like kind of wedged up against the wall here.
Yeah, hit that girl. She's the one that woke you up.
And that is an 11.
I'll take you.
Even though she's a rogue.
Okay, so that's a 15. Okay, so it swings its tail around to try and hit Janaga. However, given the odd positioning against the wall here, and it's trying to make 2 attacks at 2 separate targets, it swings the tail. Jan, you see it coming, you step to the side and kind of parry it with your short bow that's already out and block the attack.
Mm-hmm.
Amelia, it's now your turn. It's looking in really rough shape.
Okay.
Kill it, take its stuff.
I'm just gonna dagger it.
Okay.
Ooh, she gave me an idea.
So a 14 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Alright, 4 points of piercing damage. So, as you make your first dagger attack and you pull both of your daggers out, you kind of spin them in your hands a little bit, and you bring it down right on the top of its head and pull. You feel that the weight sinks into the spindly body of the fire snake, and as you pull, you start to see, all sorts of viscera just pulling out, steam and heat just emanating from the wound. It does manage to burn you for 3 points of fire damage. However, as you withdraw your blade, the fire snake falls to the ground and its body begins to rapidly cool. It is dead.
It's dead.
It's dead.
Is
I'm
there
not
anything
rating
we can
this
take
thing.
from this thing?
Loot it!
I am not. I refuse.
There is
Like that molten whatever. Can we use that to
Yeah,
melt?
like, can we
shit?
get, like, cool shit from this snake? It's a fire snake.
That's a, yeah.
Like, is its scales resistant to fire? Can
Giles
we
gave
make
me
armor out of that?
Yeah.
We're such
Firefox.
savages. We're like, kill it.
Go ahead
Grind
and
it up
roll.
for stuff.
E, go ahead and roll a nature check.
And plus it's red, so I kind of just want one of its scales for a necklace.
Oh, that's cool actually.
I'm
Okay.
also a ranger, which is very nature-like.
Go ahead and roll a nature check. Jay.
I wish you could see the face I gave, too, when I did it. Great. Fantastic.
Can I roll a nature check?
Do you want us all to do it just to see?
If you are proficient in nature, go ahead and roll.
That's
Oh,
20.
Charlie gets a natural 20 anyway, so...
Do it.
Yay!
She gets her
All right.
scale.
So Charlie,
More proficient. Amelia's more proficient in nature than I am.
Am I
Oh, wow.
really?
Yeah, I only have a +1.
So Amelia, as you approach the snake as it dies, and you kind of check for the temperature since it burned you a couple times, you are looking around and you feel that while its body is going cold, you do notice that the scales seem to be where you had made the attack. Don't seem to have suffered any fire damage from what had leaked out. You take a couple of your daggers and start kind of cutting against the way that the scales are laying, and you manage to pull up a couple sheets of these lightweight kind of, you're flaying it, removing the scales and the skin along with it. You tuck some of it away. You feel that if you were to bring this to an armor smith, you might be able to get them to craft some fire-resistant leather armor of some kind.
I was gonna say a loincloth.
Take the lot. Take it all.
Yep. So we'll say that those scales are probably like 6 feet big, probably the size of like a leaf for each one, a little small leaf. So you're able to successfully harvest about 16 of
Oh,
those. The rest all seem to either come apart in chunks or don't work quite right.
you said they're like lightweight too.
Yeah,
Cool.
I would say basically you're removing it, you're
No.
drying it, and then rolling it up and throwing it in your bag.
I get cool shit.
I actually know exactly what I would do with that, but
So is there anything else that you would like to do in this room? Did you want to explore a little bit?
I want to check out, see if there's a fire snake, there's a treasure. That's my motto.
That's
Okay.
my motto.
So I'm gonna go and check the room, or like the little cavern. So I guess that's perception.
Perception.
So you walk into the room. Go ahead and roll perception.
while she's doing that, is there any chance that E could maybe
E can maybe what?
make that way it doesn't have to just lay there on the ground?
You keep
Oh,
cutting out.
you keep-
Oh.
Yeah, you keep cutting in and out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Make
Is
what?
that, is that better?
She
Mhm.
doesn't want it to die.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
That's
I said, is there any way that I could bury the snake?
Yeah,
Oh.
absolutely.
Or like do like a ritual for it.
I want to, in Elvish, say, like, send him away into, like, nature and beyond.
Okay.
Sad. I'm really sad.
So you spend a few minutes kind of digging a little hole in the soft earth of the chasm floor. And, I mean, it's a 6-foot snake. It's pretty dang big, but you take the time to kind of move it. You're using your druid craft a little bit to kind of part the earth underneath of you and make the job go a little quicker. And then you use your druid craft to cover the hole up once more, and you say a few words.
I think I have some tea, and I think one of them is a chamomile tea. And I know that it's never going to grow down here because there's like no sunlight. Hello, Sunless Citadel. But I'm just going to put a little bud from a flower from chamomile in there with it.
Okay. Gotcha. And then, Jayaz, you are searching the room as well.
Yes.
As you walk into the room and just kind of survey, you notice that against the back wall here are items that probably would have been the snake's nest. As you approach and kind of look around, you see 2 small gems, and as you pull them out, you realize that they're sapphires. They're probably worth about 50 gold pieces. There's 2 of them.
Nice.
Go ahead and add that to your inventory.
Gonna pocket them. But there's
We
nothing
do have
else.
a lot of money, but we also haven't like upgraded our gear or anything yet.
Yeah. Don't worry, there will be lots.
You
of
will be
stuff
soon with those scales.
We're gonna
Yeah.
get a T-Rex. What?
What?
18!
18!
Alright, so there's nothing else in this room then?
Should have.
There doesn't seem to be anything else.
Alright, so now that I've pocketed the rubies, or not rubies, the sapphires, or actually, I guess I'm gonna give them to Amelia. I want to go
She's
back.
the treasurer.
Yeah, I want to go back to
Are
my
you?
door.
You trust me enough with that? No, I'm just kidding. How much are they?
They're 50. So there's 2 sapphires. They're worth 50 gold pieces.
Okay.
I mean, you're much smarter than us when it comes to money handling, so...
Well, I am a noble.
I tried paying 3 gold for 3 ice creams, so
Clearly, you're great with the monies.
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of just like rush past her, like, there's nothing else here. Here, have these, and I'm gonna go back to my door.
Okay.
Like the thing you like sped by.
All right. So for the other ladies, do you follow Jazz down her hallway to her
Yes,
door?
let's go to her.
I'm gonna go with her.
All right. So
Can I
I'll
go
just
ahead?
move you guys all. Boop. And Erky's finally woken up from his long nap.
Oh yeah.
About him.
him.
Well. So you guys should be able to move Erky now. Does someone want to be responsible for Erky?
Not it. I have too much I'm doing already.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're the stream watcher, so.
I could do it.
Okay. So you approach this door, you come down the hallway, and at the end of the door here, it's a door. What would you like to do?
I would like to check the door before I open it.
Okay, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Mom
Wanna check
always
the door?
said, don't open a door without checking it, even though I didn't have a mom.
You've done that a whole bunch of times, though.
I know. Alright, so I
So,
go the 6.
the 12. The 12 was the first one. Or, no,
Yeah,
I'm
the
sorry,
12
'cause
was
that
the perception, yeah.
So 6. So you take a look at the door, and you are much less careful after having your success with the first door. You're just like, yeah, it's a door. You check the handle. It doesn't, like, kill you immediately. So you're like, cool, it's done.
And I go through it.
All right. You pop through the door, and surprisingly enough, nothing tries to kill you.
Oh,
Wow.
well then.
So,
Look at me doing things.
as you go through the door, you
Batter
notice
a face.
I will describe it. It's a little bit of both.
Look at this.
So as you come
Awesome.
in, you notice that the floors in here are made of some really nice mosaic tiles that have started to fade with the years. But most have fallen to, dust covered. They also still decorate some of the walls. However, you imagine that the violent tearing of either the citadel coming down or whatever has, damaged it, have knocked a bunch to the floor where they've cracked and are now covered in dust.
Mm-hmm.
Situated in the center of the chamber is a slim pedestal with a rusted iron shaped like an upright dragon. In the dragon's mouth rests an empty tray.
Rest what?
An empty tray, kind of like an offering plate, you would imagine.
I guess.
Can I
I was
Can
gonna say,
I communicate to you that maybe we put the sapphires there?
that's what I was already thinking.
Yeah, okay.
But first, I guess, would I do like would it be investigation? Like to see if there was anything else, or maybe perception, anything else about the statue?
What are you trying to learn about the statue? Anything
If there's any markings that would say like, oh, this is Great Dragon so and so, or if there
Put
is
this here.
Yeah, or if there's like something obvious like, oh, the eyes are missing, you should put sapphires there.
Can I?
Okay.
Oh, like Resident Evil.
This isn't a puzzle.
Oh my gosh. Like some crazy, super intricate door in some shack in the middle of the swamp.
Yeah.
You gotta go 5 rooms over to get a dagger, and then you gotta go 10 rooms that way to get the other one. Then you go back to the basement and you put them in
Alaria trained me well. So would that be a perception check?
It is going to be an investigation.
Investigation, okay.
Yeah.
I did it!
Yay! Okay.
We're actually doing shit today.
Every once in a while, a broken clock is right twice a day.
Excuse me.
Shade.
Calling us a broken clock?
He's calling me a broken clock.
I mean, I'll accept that. That's fine.
Okay. So, Jazz, as you enter the room and kind of step amongst the tiles and stuff, you approach the statue and you kind of tap on it. You look in a few different places. You wipe away some of the dust. While it doesn't seem that there's anything of a mechanical nature that indicates that there's anything that's going to change about this statue, you do notice the stoneworking and there are some carvings. You recognize this kind of face and relief from the upper chambers of the Sunless Citadel.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, there was some mention of the dragon Ashardalon before.
Right.
You imagine that this is probably, given the ornate decoration of the room, this was very possibly at one point some kind of shrine with an offering plate, maybe a place for meditation or prayers for, paladins, clerics, and servants of Ashardalon, maybe. However, given that the room has been in disrepair and unused, there's no sense of magical energy that you can sense.
Nothing. Alright, so I'm going to relay this via the earring this time.
Okay.
I'm going to say, I think this is a statue of Ashardalon, but I'm not picking up any heebie-jeebies.
So shall we move into the room then?
Yeah, you can pop in.
Alright.
Heebie-jeebies is a scientific term, by the way.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I grew up on the streets,
Anarchy, let's
Okay.
go.
Call that catching a fright.
So you all pop in. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
What else is in the room apart from the statue? Just
So there's just the statue, then there's the ornate tile floors, and then there's the tiles on the wall that have been knocked loose and kind of shattered on the floor around the corner, and dust is kind of settled over top of them.
Do the tiles look like they're worth anything?
Everything's worth something.
Not in particular. You look at the stone designs, and it looks like it's made of fairly common stone. Not necessarily like beautiful tiles. They're mosaics. They're not made of anything like marble or any sort of valuables. It looks nice, but it's mostly functional flooring that's just pretty, not necessarily anything of value.
Well,
that's all that's in this room. There's no other door.
Yep, there's no other doors.
So Jayas is just gonna kind of like kneel slightly in front of the statue and say a few words in Draconic. Since obviously this the Citadel has a lot to do with the Ashardalon. And like nothing like too specific, just like, I hope you're resting peacefully, Great Dragon, wherever you are, like something like that. But she's gonna do it in Draconic, so she looks cool.
Okay.
Badass.
So the rest
standing next to you, just looking, giving you a side eye, like really.
You gotta put the education to use.
Yeah, the rest of you hear Jayaz kind of kneel before the statue and giving what seems to sound and look like a pretty impressive. Actually, roll a performance check.
Listen to my tone, not to my words.
Go ahead and roll a performance check.
Okay, Jazz.
Yeah.
15. All right.
Not
So yeah, for everyone else that's watching, it seems pretty legit. Like you're kneeled down. It sounds really cool. Anyone that speaks Draconic basically understands that you're essentially BSing your way through it, but it still sounds nice.
Yes.
The people that don't are just like, wow, okay, this is kind of impressive.
Yes. Yes. I'm gonna take a little piece of bread. I'm gonna leave it on the offering plate.
Okay.
Oh, I don't even think I have anything that would be a good
I
offering.
don't know if I do either.
We leave Erky.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
A lot of stuff.
I'm gonna
Chaos
call him.
picks up
No!
Erky by the waist and just kind of puts him on the offering plate. Erky stands back. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Onyx gems
um,
and bloodstones. If you
What about the
guys want.
sapphires? Do we?
We still have the sapphires, yeah.
I still feel like the sapphires are something.
Okay.
Alright, we can put the sapphires. It's not like we're broke.
We're not broke.
I mean, as we
almost
recall-
900 gold. Like,
I mean, as we recall, when we all first met, I did come out with a bunch of jewels looking like royalty. So I like to think we still have them. I'm not very good with money, as you can tell. So I'd like to think we still have them.
yes, I would say so.
Thank
I
you.
assume. Sold them or pawned them off somewhere.
Yeah, you can take them back to town and exchange them.
I don't know. I think we should leave the sapphires. Like,
Okay.
Cool with
we
me.
found them down here.
What did the
Let's
snake
leave them down
have
here.
the sapphires for?
I don't know.
Like shiny things.
Yeah.
Shiny things. So are you doing anything there specific, or are you guys ready to move on?
Jayas is ready.
I don't
Yeah,
have
I'm
anything
ready.
else to do in here. Yeah.
I have nothing to offer.
I just told you we have a whole bunch of stuff.
I know, but I mean, like, just
Anything.
what's
Nothing that you
personal.
want to leave. Yeah, nothing you want to leave. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Piece of gold.
Mhm.
Oh.
There's
Alright.
a dragon.
Alright.
So I'm gonna go back out of the room then.
Okay.
Now, was there anything? Did we foresee anything to like the right of the rift?
So to the right of the rift, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Fantastic.
All right.
Yeah, no,
so
let's go with the first one.
you look to the right, and it seems to go on pretty far. Your dark vision takes, pretty far down. It continues for. You easily see like 45 feet, and it keeps going.
Hmm. So I'm gonna turn back to them and say, like, I don't know how far it goes. Do we want to chance it, or do we want to go check out that other door?
I would rather go through the other door.
Yeah, we might as
Yeah.
well just check what's here first before we proceed.
Where was the door?
Back in the chambers.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Okay,
then
okay.
to the door.
Or.
All right. Hold on. Let me move Amelia to AFK. So you're going back to the door in the central chamber?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I forgot there was another one.
Montage.
Sorry, Adam. I was writing down stuff in the notebook.
Yeah, it was like top right.
Ouch. Okay, so you all come back into this room.
Yes.
Hmm.
There is ye olden door in front of you. What would you like to do?
Can I investigate?
Not it.
Yeah. Go ahead and investigate. Roll an investigation check.
20. Not natural. Just.
Not
All right.
natural, just 20.
So, you check the door. You kind of listen at it, are trying to determine if there's anything wonky about the door. You make a very thorough investigation of it, determine that there's no traps, the door is not locked. You hear very faintly, possibly snoring.
Oh god.
It's not me this time.
Mm.
Can I figures ready and stealth in?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a stealth check. Okay, 10.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
And before I do, I motion and let them know that there's something in there.
Hmm. Okay, so you go ahead and go through the door. And as you do, you see before you
Oh boy.
a long row. Yeah, I was gonna say it's a long row style hallway with 2 rows of dragon carved marble columns that kind of go down the length of the hall. Most of which are completely covered in a bioluminescent fungus. So you can see without the aid of a torch in here. The cobbled floor is cracked and stained, and you see several wooden tables sitting across it. The contents on the tables appear to include things like mortar and pestle, small tools, and then you see doors that are lining the hallways on the right. Some are propped open. All of them are partially open to some extent. Go ahead and roll a perception check. Okay.
15.
So as you walk in, you can hear the snoring a little bit more clearly. It seems to be echoing from the chamber immediately on your left, which is this one here.
So I already told the others there's something in here.
Do you want us to follow you in?
No. Not yet.
All right.
Yes.
Famous last words.
No.
Can I... no.
You can do nothing while Micah is
Apparently I
barking.
don't want to.
Come here, babe.
Micah's like, that's a bad idea.
I keep picturing in my head if like any of this ever gets animated, I'd like to picture like way off in the background there's just like a random dog barking.
Yeah.
It's like during conversation.
We got a bird feeder, and he gets really excited when he sees birds.
Aww.
I was gonna say, I just imagine every single time, because it comes from Mandy's mic, that Jay Oz just suddenly like makes dog noise.
Like
Just
a little
imagine-
dog head just pops up in the corner.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to use my animal handling here in a minute.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
You're good.
All right. So what are we doing? What's going on?
Okay. I mean, Amelia didn't want us to come in.
Okay. So you're still being pretty
I-
sneaky.
Yeah, can I get closer to the door and I can try to
You want to like stealth in and like try to
Yeah.
sneak them?
stealth in and like get him because I have
I do too.
assassinate, so I can have advantages on attack rolls for creatures that have not taken a turn in combat yet. And since
Yes.
he doesn't know I'm there,
Yeah,
Sneaky, sneaky.
makes
can I do
sense to
that?
me. Absolutely. So
I
you
hope this
approach this door here, and
Mhm.
before you see one goblin sleeping on a bedroll in front of you, and there are 2 smaller goblins just armed with a club that are napping on other bedrolls strewn across the floor.
Oh,
Everyone
this
in
is
this
great.
chamber appears to be fast asleep.
Okay.
I just hear the murder in your voice, and I'm very excited for it.
And I'm just imagining we're hanging out with the dead bodies in the other chamber, like, wonder what's going on.
I'm taking out. I'm gonna try to take out the middle one.
Okay. So
I have my
because you
daggers
the-
out.
I was gonna say, because you have the assassinate feature because of your class option,
Mhm.
you automatically get a crit because this creature is asleep and does not know that you're there, and it's considered a surprise round. So go ahead and roll your attack with advantage.
8, 10. Well,
Okay, and since he's asleep and basically unconscious, those go ahead and roll damage for each.
cool.
Okay,
7 and 6.
so You withdraw your daggers and very quietly, very silently, just take 2 quick strikes across the throat. It is silent, does not make a sound, and the goblin just bleeds out. He doesn't even know what hit him. The 2 goblin commoners in the corner room there have also not roused at all.
I fucking love this. It's fun.
What else would you like to do?
They're still asleep, right?
They're still asleep.
Daggers to them.
Jesus.
Murder.
I'll sneak up to the one in the furthest.
Wait,
I
which
like to
one
think
did
I'm
she
like
kill
whispering
first?
this in the earrings. Do it.
No, we have no
What's
idea
going
what's
on?
even going on.
Okay, dagger.
Alright, go ahead and roll damage.
5. 9 piercing for him.
Okay. So 9 doubled is 18. So you, again, very quietly, this time just using the one dagger, kind of lean down, cover their mouth, and go, shh, and then
Further.
very quick.
Wakes up and
This
has
is hella fun. Like,
I love murdering people in their sleep.
love it. It's so much fun.
Amelia, 2017. Oh, there's the night train.
Great.
That 20 train.
The gig is up. They're all due.
Everybody drink! I was gonna say, the popo's coming. They know. They know. So yeah, you are in this room. Still got 1 goblin left who is none the wiser.
I'm gonna do the same thing.
Alright.
I like to think that your eyes are like wide open with a huge grin on your face, just covered in the blood
I'm
that's like
serious.
spurting out.
No.
Alright. Go ahead and roll
I'm
damage.
getting out-
seriously-
You're getting out a lot of frustrations that you've had so far.
gonna come to us happier. Gonna be in a better mood.
So, for this one as well, you kind of just stand over in the dim light of the bioluminescence, and as you approach, the shadow just looms over this commoner as you very slowly just lean in and again, just sort of eviscerating their neckline, just completely done. All 3 very silent executions. No one seems to be none the wiser. However, the floors seem a little bit messier.
Yes.
I heard it in my head.
I'm so glad you said that because I was like the same thing. I was like, this is exactly what I
Yup.
did. Just like, yeah.
And then the music hits when it's like all the blood spurting out.
It's not that messy. I'm better than that. Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say when you come back out, you're gonna have a huge smile on your face, just covered in blood.
Ow!
like
I'm
the
not
dude's
that
done.
crazy.
No, like you're gonna come out happier because you got out frustrations.
Well, now let's find
it's
out.
A
What,
job. I'm doing a job.
Well, you can still get out stuff when you're doing it.
so, you've successfully dispatched all 3 goblins in this room. You look around, it appears to be their living quarters. What would you like to do?
Can I look to see if there's anything here?
Yeah, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
9.
9, okay. So you search under a few of the different bedrolls just to see if there's anything hiding under there. You do manage to find 3 silver pieces just scattered amongst the room, but that's about it.
Okay, I'll touch my earring and be like, it's safe to come in now.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm like mildly annoyed that we got left in here for
What's
so long.
taking so long? Yeah.
Oh!
I'm just gonna walk in the room silently with my mouth gaped open.
I guess
I just have like
I'm just gonna walk out as you
Super-
walk in. Walk right past her.
so we're gonna go through the door first.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give Amelia like a what the fuck look. Like, what took you so long? This is just a hallway.
I'm
And I
more or
go
less
into the
just
room
like,
with the dead bodies in it.
Well, they're in a room. We don't see that.
I'm in the
point to
room.
Oh.
The door's open. She's in there.
Yeah. I'm in there, but I haven't said anything.
Yeah.
So you see for yourself.
So Jayas is gonna be like, what the hell? She's gonna peek into the room to see what's up and just see the carnage. And then she's gonna look back at Amelia and then she's gonna offer her a piece of bread. Like a reward.
I'm just gonna roll my eyes and be like,
Jayas will shrug and just eat the bread herself then.
Yeah. So for everyone who enters this main chamber, go ahead and roll a perception check, please.
Now I have the whistle stop stuck in my head.
That's my theme song.
3, 20, 11. Alright.
Should be your theme song. It's so subtle.
So bad. I want her to be a hot assassin. Like, come on.
So, E, as you enter the room, you kind of hear from the right. So there's death silence from the left. Like, there's nothing going on in this over here, obviously. But from this side, you hear some, like, weird squishing noises. You're not quite sure what's going on in there, but you hear, like, squishing noises. Kind of like, that sound... It's kind of like a mashing sound, like when you're making meatloaf and you're mixing it with your hands. It's like that.
Gross.
Yeah. It sounds like that.
That sounds yummy, actually. I want meatloaf.
Okay, I guess I'll relay that to everybody quietly through the earring.
Okay. So you kind of like very hushed whispers touch your ear and go, guys, or something. Stealth chamber here.
Okay, can
Making meatloaf?
Can I stealth over there?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a new stealth check. Oh, 23, okay. Let's see. If I click on this, does it show you what they are? Who cares? Alright. So, you sneak into this room. And you're keeping to the shadows, being very quiet, and you see two goblin commoners just kind of very busy with what they're doing. They're facing each other, they're kind of dancing around in this weird mashed up pit. And it seems to be a wooden structure, like a giant bowl. And within it you smell these fermented sour grapes that are just being mashed and squished between their gross toes. They both seem way too preoccupied to see you.
I don't want wine.
I either thought that was like a well or a table with a giant cake on it. I didn't even think about it.
Oh, yes, giant goblin cake.
It looks like a cake or like a cookie.
It's not a cookie. It looks nothing like a cookie.
No.
What kind of cookies are you eating?
Mantics.
Ones without chocolate chips. Chips Ahoy is where like the chocolate chips get hidden.
Odd.
Okay,
so they haven't noticed me yet, right?
They have not noticed you yet, no. However, they probably won't take long.
Oh shit. I'll fight.
It's actually a fight ring.
Okay, I guess I'll... Well, first I'm gonna... I don't know. Is the door open? Can the others see me?
So the door is partially opened, so you were able to sneak in without drawing too much attention to the sound of the door opening or closing. However, the others don't clearly have visibility from where they're at. They just saw you sneak in.
Can I sneak back out and, like, motion in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So you kind of reach up against the back wall there. You are wedged against the door. You reach out into the hallway and you kind of give, like, one of these, like, come here gestures.
Jayas is just gonna assume she now wants the bread.
No!
So she's gonna just like, okay, and rip off another hunk of her trusty baguette and walk over and like to her outreach, like come here hand, she's just gonna place a piece of bread.
I'm gonna put my hands over her mouth and point inwards and be like, dude, goblins, not bread, goblins.
So
I'm just gonna like.
Giles would be like, oh, and then takes the bread back and puts it back in like the satchel.
Okay, well, I let them know. So can I take out my daggers and try stabbing one?
Yeah. Which one do you want to attack?
The
Who's the one
closest.
closest? Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
you said they were in the thing, so I'm like assuming.
Yeah, they're more like
Same.
in here together.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So yeah, the closest one. I'll just dagger it.
Okay. So you attack this one here. Go ahead and roll your attacks.
I'm over by the door now.
15
Alright.
and 7.
So go ahead and roll for damage on the 5th. Alright, so that 4 is doubled because it is a surprise attack. So in this first round here, you withdraw your blades and you kind of stab into the back of the commoner the first time and just rip. And he's weak and frail, and he's clearly not a fighter. The muscle and sinew tears away freely while you just kind of drag it down his back, and he collapses outside of the wine. The other one is now startled and kind of freaks out. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Everybody.
Oh boy, yay!
Does anybody else feel bad that like we could just be murdering innocent goblins?
Yes.
They're goblins. What do you mean?
They messed with us first.
Are goblins like...
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Hello?
Sorry, the audio cut out.
Oh no.
Ah.
What did
We still
what
hear
did Charlie say?
I said, aren't goblins evil?
Oh, okay,
Yes.
it cut out.
Yeah, I was gonna say they kind of just like do their own thing.
I feel less bad because they're really ugly and they don't appreciate nature.
And wait, hold on. What does that mean about the snake? I don't understand.
I do wish there was a way to roll secret rolls as DM.
Oh.
What?
You could just do like
This is why I still
Real
use like
dice.
tabletop dice. Yeah,
I like the sound that they make.
I do
I know.
The sound of
I
the
just want dice, guys. I haven't bought any dice yet. I should buy
Mine
some.
are
No,
sitting
I
right
need-
here.
I have to have Jim's dice because he has the purple ones that I want.
Oh shit! You know it's serious because our music came back.
Hollies.
Yeah, I was gonna say I keep forgetting to put it on loop.
I'm out, right?
I saw a
So
set
it's
of
on a loop
metal
now.
ones once. Those look pretty cool.
No.
All right, so I have 1, 2, 3. Who am I missing? I'm missing Janaga.
She's too busy looking
Oh,
at the dead
sorry.
bodies.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I was like answering people and checking things.
Gotcha. All good. Let's go ahead and just dive right into it. Jaz, you have first dibs in combat. What would you like to do?
All right. I think I haven't gotten to use my shoulders yet, and since it's closer, I'm gonna walk up to the one that's still alive. And by walk up, I mean like do it cool like. And from behind, I'm gonna try hitting him with my short swords. And now that we know the whole two-handed thing, the double attack, I guess do I still roll them together then?
So you roll one first, and then you roll the second one, which doesn't get any bonuses.
Okay, so
like it's
I'll try with the first one. 13.
okay. 13. That hits.
Okay. So that's a 6.
All right. So you take your short sword and you withdraw both of them. You take a swing, and it essentially just cleaves this guy right in half. You don't even need that second swing.
All right. So I'm gonna look at the other one and be like, okay, and then like resheath it.
Yeah.
Well, that was actually fitting because we were the first ones in there.
Yeah.
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 We're doing it together.
Yeah, the two people that
Take it
argue
back.
the most are actually working together.
Take it back. I don't want,
Take it back.
I want
So-
character development.
Oh gosh.
As these two goblins fall, those in the main chamber hear the first goblin squeal out when he sees his ally fall. And in very short order, 2 more goblins emerge from the top hall room here, and 1 goblin emerges from the southern room here. It is Amelia's turn. Go ahead and roll perception for me to see if you realize that the guys have entered the hallway yet. Nope.
Sure don't.
Okay, so as far as you know, the 2 guys that were in here are dead, and you are kind of preoccupied with looking if there's anything of interest. E, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
You roll for Urki's turn?
I can, yeah, hold on. Pull him up here.
I forgot Urki gets a turn.
I
That was just like,
swear,
yeah.
I'm the only one
For
that
sake-
ever remembers
For
him.
sake of keeping it easy, I'm just going to have him go on your turn as well, since you're controlling both of them.
Oh, okay.
So you can use him during your turn if you'd like. And he's his own separate character with his own actions and everything.
I don't know what his actions are.
You should have access to his character sheet
Oh,
now.
cool. I didn't know that I got all that. I thought I was just moving him. Cool.
Yeah, you should have him as a character now, so you can actually see his armor class and
Sweet.
all that stuff.
Okay, so I'm gonna...
Choo choo.
Forgive me if this takes me.
so this
I'm actually
music is
gonna-
very creepy with headphones on.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna do E first.
Okay.
I'm familiar. What is
I'm in a
this?
Zelda dungeon.
That right there.
I think that's just a table.
Sorry, ping it one more time.
Right
What's in front of
me.
her?
Yeah, just a low table. Most of these are goblin height, so they're probably like 2 feet off the ground.
Oh, you can make it
okay.
like a step stool.
And are these pillars that
Yes.
go? Oh, okay.
Yep, those are the dragon marble columns that kind of run the length of the room.
Okay. Can I step up onto the small table?
Yeah, for
Now-
sure.
Effect. Thank you.
Yeah,
Get a
the
height
table.
advantage.
The table's basically covered with, various mortar and pestle. Some of them appear to have plant components in them. You kind
Okay.
of kick them to the side as you step up onto the table.
Okay. I mean, it's basically at my shins, so I should
Yeah.
be able to step on top of this table. And I
Exactly.
just want to poison spray Disa one right in front of me.
Okay, since it is a cone, you are able to hit both of them. Go ahead and roll your damage, and I'll roll their saving throws.
Darn it, it's not working.
Oh, that's right.
D12, did you say?
Yes. Yep, a 1d12.
And
Ooh, okay. So
Mhm.
the one manages to see the attack coming and tries to cover his mouth. However, as you fire the poison spray, it still coats his eyes, goes into his nose, and everything. Both of these goblins start convulsing violently and fall to the ground.
Yay! Death.
Got a twofer. Look at you.
Hot damn.
okay, and also I get to move for Urki. Let's see. I'm having to read. I'm sorry, I was not.
That's okay. No, you're good. He should have a base move speed of 30, I believe.
Right. Okay, trying to find his. Okay, there are his spells. Okay, cool. What the hell is that? I can't even pronounce that. It's the one after Sacred Flame.
Let me take a look.
Thaumaturgy.
Oh, thaumaturgy?
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh, those are his only spells? Okay.
see. Thaumaturgy is a transmutation spell. It's a cantrip. You manifest a minor wonder, a sign of supernatural power within range. You create one of the following magical effects. Your voice booms up to 3 times as loud. You can
Ooh.
cause flames to flicker, brighten, dim, or change color. You can cause harmless tremors in the ground for a minute. You can create an instantaneous sound that originates from a point of your choosing within range, such as a rumble of thunder, cry of a raven, ominous whispers, yada yada yada.
I think.
Yeah, there's a few things.
Just for right now, I think I'm gonna move Urki right here, and
Okay.
I'm gonna have him use his melee weapon.
He's going clubbing.
So much
And so it's
clubbing.
1d4.
Urky.
Is that right?
Yep. So if you have his character sheet open, let me see if I'll click the thing. We'll just do it this way.
Okay.
Alright, so his attack succeeds. It does 1 point of bludgeoning damage to the goblin in front of him.
Wow.
So he takes his club and basically just tries to whack this goblin in the head. The goblin sees it, tries to kind of move with the blow to reduce the amount of impact, and kind of takes it but swings with it.
Since Erky only moved about 10 feet, can I move him back a little since that was real bad?
So you can, however, since he's standing immediately next to the goblin will get a chance to take a swing at him as he moves.
Well, he's gonna hit him anyway. So, let's see. Yeah, and also to get him out of the way, I would like to move him here, and I'll risk him taking damage.
Okay, go ahead and make the move.
It's not her life. She'll risk it.
Our best healer, so I don't want him to die.
He literally saved all of our lives.
He takes 8 points of slashing damage as he retreats. The goblin has a scimitar that he wields, and as he kind of takes that blow across his cheek, he manages to move with it, grab his scythe, and tries to swing in a retaliating blow. Erky does suffer a few points of damage as he retreats. It is now the goblin's turn, and the goblin, having seen you just kind of mace his two buddies over here and immediately just kind of start melting away their skin, he is going to make an attack at you with his scimitar.
At E? Oh, great.
He rolls a natural 1. So he tries to make an attack as you're standing on top of the table, and he takes his scythe, he swings it down with such force that it manages to get stuck in the table, and he's trying to wedge himself out of the table. He's stuck for a quick second.
Wow.
Face.
Janaga, it's your
smart,
turn.
Are they?
Nope, not at all.
I'm just gonna walk right up to him and just hit him with Ilaria's laughter.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attack.
Okay.
18 hits, go ahead and roll damage.
There you go.
6 points of slashing damage. Alright. So, as you approach, you withdraw your longsword, and as you do, you hear that familiar giggle. You bring it out, you bring it down on him as he's trying to, like, pull his scimitar free. He locks eyes with you, and you see this brief moment of panic where he realizes maybe he should have left it. And it's immediately cut short as you bring down the longsword onto his neck, just hacking into it, and blood just goes, and he falls to the ground dead.
And that's why I walk in.
One hand still holding onto the scimitar, now loosens on the table, and comes down, and just lands on his stomach and goes, kink.
And that's why I walked it, because I knew he was going to try and go back for his sword.
Alright, and that ends combat.
Woo!
So we got a few more rooms we can explore in here. Why don't we go ahead and take our 10-minute break?
Yes.
Alright then.
Go ahead and get some snacks, use the restroom, refresh your drinks, answer your Twitters, go to Facebook, tell people about
Answer all our fan mail.
Get your friends in.
Answer the Twitter where Mandy's calling me a murder psychopath.
And before we go, I just want to say thank you to our new followers, Jerinar, Mythoxus, and Burp.
Hey! I know what it is.
Mythoxus, you are all about D&D. I'm just looking at your your background right now. Wow.
Have you?
Awesome.
Are you looking up on our?
No,
our
like
followers?
I'm on the page.
Oh, and we had one
Tracking.
earlier to Thurgolkun.
Thorgolkun, yeah.
Yeah, in the beginning, and I missed it because it was like right.
You're a
when we
French
started.
gamer. Bonjour. French Canadian.
she's just got like spreadsheets on everybody. She's like, oh yes, I see that you drive a Honda
I was actually trying to
Civic,
figure out where
Is this your current
we ended
license?
that last time.
And is this your social security number? No reason.
No reason.
Bye.
All right, so we'll be back in 15 minutes, everybody. As always, if you have questions or anything, just put them down into the chat, and then we will we'll answer them while we go to the bathroom, like you do.
While we snack.
All right, we'll be back.
Oh, we break.
Back in a few.
And we're back.
Yay!
We all got our snacks and our drinks. So
My
real
kitchen
quick,
almost burned.
oh jeez. Before
No,
we
it
jump
did.
back in,
No.
just once again, during this stream, we are collecting donations through CrowdRise for our current fundraising campaign, which is Nat20s for natural disasters. All the funds will go to Stronger Than Storms and Random Acts. And right now they are working with different relief efforts, different charities to help with all the victims from Hurricane Harvey, Irma, Maria. Right now they're really focusing on Puerto Rico because it's just completely devastated there. So anything that you do donate will go directly to those efforts. And at the end of the donation week, we will pick one lucky winner out of everybody that's donated, and they will win one of these super cool chainmail dice bags that I will custom make for you. So if you want one of these designs, a certain color, whatever the case may be, I can do that for you if you are the winner. And it's not like, oh, I have to donate a whole bunch. You can donate $1, and that $1 might win you a $75 dice bag. So with that said, and that crunch,
Sorry.
we'll bring it on back over
That sounds
to
delicious.
Adam.
I was sneaking one more tempura green bean before he came back because I'm like, I can sneak it before the camera's on.
Haha.
Oh, I've been eating the entire time. No worries.
I also, well, but, oh, you have your camera on. Oh, no.
I just
found the squeaky toy.
I just ate a burger, I think, faster than I ever have in my entire life, so.
I did that the week I DM'd. I was like, I'm scraping up the burger right now.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I'm hungry, but I'm not going to get to eat for at least another hour-ish.
Sorry
Okay.
about that.
No,
Little
it's
elves needed
Oh my
attention.
God, I need to get the squeaky toy before. We're trying to be stealthy, babe.
Squeak, 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 squeak.
Babe.
We're professional.
I mean, let's not get too carried away here.
I
Well,
mean, we got trains and
We have
dogs.
fun.
well, this is our life now. I hope you guys are happy.
That's fine. Alright, so coming back from break, we are
You guys that are
Yes.
without children make more noise than me with my whole family.
I feel like that's a call-out post. Rude.
True.
I cannot hear Adam.
You can't
Oh,
hear
really?
Did you refresh?
Hold on. Test 1, 2, 3, test 1, 2, 3.
Every time we come back.
Yeah, it's weird. She'll rejoin in a second. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Can you hear him now?
I can.
Alright, cool.
Basically,
Can you hear
what
me
I
now?
do when we come back is just refresh before we go live.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Do that though.
Okay.
Silly.
Sucks. No, I'm just kidding. But
Okay.
But we're back.
So we back. We were exploring through this seemingly laboratory-esque type room with these tables full of pots, mortar and pestle, and plant parts, and all sorts of weird, unusual kind of herbalism going on. After assassinating 3 goblins in the top leftmost room, Amelia waved everybody in. You stumbled across some goblins in the south room here making goblin wine, which, if you'll recall, a few of you have found bottles of before. You popped it open and it smells very strongly of basically just vinegar.
Yuck.
It smells pretty gross.
Delicious.
The first
Great,
goblin
like
was
vinegar.
assassinated pretty quickly. However, the second goblin had an opportunity to call out for help, which brought in reinforcements from the north and south central rooms here. You quickly dispatched them before our break, and now we are back and free to explore the room. What would you like to do?
I want to check the room that I am currently in.
Okay.
After we killed these guys. So that's
Okay, go ahead.
Is it perception or investigation?
So perception is like if you're looking for something in particular just to see if anything catches your eye. Investigation is like a detailed close-up. I'm doing a thing.
Okay. So I am going to percept.
Mm-hmm. 14. Okay. So, looking into the vat where the goblins have been crushing and stepping and stuff, you notice that there's a bunch of grapes and berries, and just earth and grossness, all kind of mingling together. It smells like they've been using rotting components. You distinguish that it's probably not safe to drink. You look around the rest of the room kind of pretty thoroughly, and aside from a cask that smells like it's probably the goblin wine prepared in this same similar fashion, there doesn't seem to be anything of interest in here.
Do I have like a empty vial or like something? I want to take at least a sample of the goblin wine with us.
I have some.
Oh, did we still
we already have some?
I didn't know.
You guys have a couple bottles.
Oh, I thought we had given that to the dragon. We still had some.
No, I gave the nice wine to the dragon.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember because you were mad about that.
That's right. Still salty. Got it.
I will.
So, okay, then there's nothing else I want to do in this room.
You guys treat Amelia like crap, but trust you.
I'll look at the room next to her.
Okay.
This dead rat on the table. Wonderful.
Yes. Okay, so as you enter the south central chamber, you remember that there was a goblin that emerged from this room? On the table in front of you, strapped spread eagle to the wooden table, is a giant diseased rat. As you take a closer look, the rat seems to be suffering some horrible tumors that look like almost a combination of wooden patches of lumps and exposed bare skin that appears to be changing into wood. And one of them even seems to have a twig that may be sprouting foliage. You're not quite sure.
The rat's turning into a tree?
Wait, hold on.
You're not quite sure.
Like the tree things that we were fighting? Is that how they're born?
Blight? Maybe.
Huh.
Does she relay this information to
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm gonna get on the earring. I'm gonna get on the earring and say, come in here and look at this.
Yeah, you gotta see this shit.
Alright.
Yeah, you gotta see this shit.
So Jayas is gonna come in here to see this shit, and can I do could I do like a nature check? Or
Yeah,
go ahead and do it.
nature? Does nature
Yeah.
work?
Yep, go ahead and make a nature check.
Can I do it too?
Yeah, go for it.
Can I imagine we're all just like, oh, you asshole. I imagine we're just all standing around this rat, like, stroking our beards that we don't have, like, most interesting. Doctor, what do you make of this? Doctor?
Jazz is just taking her long hair and just made a beard out of it.
She does keep it braided, so she's probably like, you know, with the stress and the anxiety, she's just starting to like braid it in front of her face. At this point, I think she ran out of bread, so she has to keep busy somehow.
Okay.
You're eating your hair.
So as you take a closer look at the diseased rat, you can tell that 1, it's definitely no longer living. 2, the tumors and wood-blighted areas of it seem like they might still be moving somehow. You're not quite sure. It might just be a trick of the light in here because it's a little dark. It's still lit by that bioluminescent fungus. Exploring the rest of the room, though, you do find a half-empty vial of some kind of elixir or potion down at this corner here. As you open it and smell it, it smells like rotted, sour earth.
I would like to pocket that for later.
Okay, so you put the stopper back in the bottle.
Yeah.
Throw it in your bag. Go ahead and mark down one.
I was going to say, I checked the bottle to make sure there's nothing like, you know, written on it like, elixir of dead rat, or, you know.
There are no markings on the bottle itself. Yeah, there's nothing that seems to indicate what it might be.
I'm gonna write it in my items as elixir of dead rat though, and we'll know what
Okay.
I mean.
Yep.
Is there any way that we could light this thing like on fire?
Yeah, you probably very easily could on the wooden table.
Is that right?
Don't you have a spell that can do that?
I don't know.
No.
I don't think you would need one. You have several torches and some flint and tinder. I'm sure you can
we do?
use some of the plant materials in the lab to set it on fire.
Okay.
Light the plant first and then throw it on it so you don't have to touch it.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. I mean, I have fairy fire, but
That's not.
Yeah, I don't think that would work.
I don't think that's damaging, is it?
no, it's not damaging. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
You didn't get enough sleep or enough meditation time, focused meditation time last night. So
Yeah. So you make kind of a makeshift torch and light it and throw it onto the table. The wooded areas on the rat catch pretty easily and start to flicker and dance with flame as it also catches on the table underneath. As you watch and it starts to catch, it takes a while because the air down here is pretty damp and soaked into the wood. However, after a while it does start to catch and burn, and you make sure that it's not going to catch anything else in the room on fire. Thankfully the stonework keeps it from moving too far, and the air in here is very still, so it doesn't the flames around too much.
okay. I would like to move on.
Yes, we can move on.
Okay.
Did anybody check the top right room or the top middle one?
The top. No, not yet.
There's 3 we haven't been in. It's on the top, middle, top far left, and then the bottom left that we haven't looked at. I'm sorry, right, not left.
Yeah.
Alright, and while we're checking the rooms, can I also check these bodies to make sure there's nothing on them?
Yeah. So you're looking through those bodies, you find 4 silver pieces between all the different bodies in the room.
Money, money.
I'm just gonna, since it's only silver, I'm just gonna put it in like my pocket or satchel.
Yep. Okay.
Can E and Erky move down here?
Yeah. So in this room, you notice that the back wall, it's mostly empty. It is just a similar concrete tile. There's nothing of note. However, you do notice that the back wall here seems to have been pulled apart, distorting the dimensions of the room somewhat. As you look down and using your dark vision, you see the tunnel extends pretty far. This looks very similar to the chasm that you were in previously, and you bet that this is probably where the chasm had gone up to.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay. So with that information, I don't care to explore it anymore.
Okay.
Can I go up to this one? We haven't checked this one yet, right?
Which one?
Correct. The top right room.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, in the northeastmost chamber, you see several weapon stores leaned up against the walls in makeshift weapon racks. You count quickly and identify 5 battered scimitars of varying states of disrepair, 6 short bows, and about 40 arrows. There's also a door leading outward to the top right of the room.
Ooh. I don't think we need any weapons. So, I'm just gonna go up to this door.
Maybe we want to check out the weapons rack. You never know
What do you
there
want?
is. No, I'm happy.
Well, like to pawn?
Oh,
Yeah,
actually.
Are you gonna carry all of them? Because I'm not.
I guess not. Too lazy for that shit.
I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna, see if something's in the store.
Check that dough.
Mhm.
Check that dough.
5. Wow.
Nope. Looks fine. Looks like a door.
Looks like
Okay,
a
well, then I'm just gonna stealth and open it.
Okay, go ahead and roll your stealth check.
11.
Okay, go ahead and enter the door.
Oh my god, it's tiny.
Yay!
And then there's another door.
There is another door.
There's a door inside a door.
Yeah, this room is just a small vestibule to
What's this?
separated 2
Another
areas.
door?
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell them that I'm gonna go through this door now. So I'm gonna
get closer to her.
Do you need assistance?
No.
We're all like, whoomp.
Yeah. I've been doing pretty damn good by myself.
That's why I asked.
I'm gonna perceive. I'm gonna perception check.
Perceived.
Perceived. I'm gonna perceive the door.
Okay. So you check out the door, and you give it a good once over. You check the room, making sure that there's no traps or anything lining the walls that seems like it's going to trigger when you test the mechanism. You also inspect the lock, making sure that it's free of any poisons or traps in the lock. It seems to be safe to move forward.
Okay. And I'm just gonna go open it and go in.
Okay.
And yay.
So you're moving very quietly, very stealthily. You manage to open and close the door without much effort. In front of you, you see a creature that seems to have, it's short, like fur on its body. It seems to be covered with some other type of stuff. You've seen these before. It is indeed a bugbear. It seems to be tending to the garden.
Why are they called bugbears? They look nothing like bugs. I don't understand.
Do they eat
They're like bears, but smaller.
But they're not bugs.
I don't know.
Adam doesn't know the rule. Well,
this
you can always ask Chris later.
Yeah. It does seem that this bugbear is gardening and tending to some of the rot in the room. The room itself is covered in nodules of luminescent fungus which hang from the ceiling and the walls, and they also grow in clumps here on the floor. The light illuminates grand portions of carvings in the stone walls that aren't covered with the fungus. The carvings on the walls depict dragons in various stages of raining fire down on terrified people. Soil and compost cover half of the chamber's floor, which allows a variety of feeble plants to try and grow. A bench containing simple gardening implements stands along the western wall here, as you notice, coming through the room. The bugbear seems to be pretty preoccupied. Didn't hear you come in. Is tending the small vegetation in front of it. What would you like to do?
Oh, he hasn't heard me?
Nope. I love the giggle. It's like,
you don't know I'm here?
No.
I love being an assassin, guys. I just let you all shoot. Okay, I'm gonna sneak up to the things, and then I'm gonna dagger.
Alright.
And I'm gonna dagger.
I actually thought you were gonna go for the door up there, and then we're like, okay, there's nothing here, now I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So, both of those attacks hit. Go ahead and roll damage. So 9 points, dealt double. You withdraw your daggers very quietly and stealthily under the cover of the low light, and you reach behind the gardener and you make 2 quick shiv stabs into where its kidneys should be, and you feel your daggers sink in, and you pull them back very quickly. The bugbear sort of screams out in pain out of this surprise of not knowing what was happening. Suffers 18 points of damage. It is very severely bleeding from its lower back. You feel you successfully punctured one of the vital organs, however it's not quite down yet. I want everyone to go ahead and roll initiative, please.
Woo! Not quite dead yet. Oh, this time really select
Isn't murder fun, guys?
I'm just still saying, what if these were peaceful people?
They're not! They're
nice.
evil.
No, I was gonna say no pressure, Jenna, but you already got a 5.
Well, kind of like up here. So I was like, nah, you got this.
No pro!
Wop wop. Okay, so Jazz, Erky, and E all rolled. Oh, geez, wait, did you all roll 20s?
Yeah.
Good lord. Okay,
I really want to say it was because it's near death, so it's like whatever.
Possibly. For sake of making this make sense, Emilio, you're already in the room, so go ahead and take your turn first, and then we'll decide between the other 3 who wants to go.
It's gonna die after her
Well,
turn.
miss, because I want to do something cool.
You want to do something cool?
Okay.
I was like, she got this, it's fine.
Still in my hand, so.
Alright, so the first one misses, however that second dagger strike lands true. Go ahead and roll damage. 5 points piercing. Alright, so as the bugbear turns to face you, you try to swing with your non-dominant hand and catch it, however you swing a little bit wide. However, as you follow through with your dominant hand, you manage to land a deep slashing gash right across its midsection, drawing, pretty copious amounts of blood.
Yay.
And then I guess Jazz, E, or Erky.
I'll raise the boy because I'm the next one.
Yeah, what's this thing that you wanted to do so bad?
No, nothing specifically. I just wanted to do something cool. Literally, I just want to try doing something cool. So I'm gonna skidoo my way through one chamber to the other.
Okay.
Chamber of Secrets, and I'll have Lego Yas drawn because I'm like, oh, what is it that's going on? And I'm gonna come through with Lego Yas, and I guess this thing is like looking pretty poorly.
Oh yeah, Amelia's looking at him.
I'm just like, first I'm gonna say, is it dead yet? Because I'm assuming it looks bad.
I was actually picturing you coming through the door like, what's going on? And you just immediately fired off an arrow.
Yeah, what's going on?
And you don't even know where it went.
So that's what I do.
You heard the cries from him.
So that's an 18 plus 2 is a 20.
That hits.
Woo!
And it's a 6 piercing damage.
Alright. So you loose the arrow, and as Amelia comes across and draws the dagger against the midsection of the slashing motion, you come through the door, you say, is it dead yet? She turns to you and goes, no! You let the arrow fly, it immediately hits dead center of the forehead, just goes shink, and the bugbear falls backward, leaning into the soft earth and rotting plants and small vegetation behind it, and its blood is just pooling out of its body, and it is no longer alive.
I'm gonna just turn to her and be like, you're welcome.
What? Too, Amelia and Jazz have been working together a lot today.
Lord.
I think we have been, yeah.
Keep your friends close and your enemies close.
Apparently.
But you're the gets the closest.
You need to keep them pretty close too.
Alright.
Okay, I don't know what to do now. Like, that was very anticlimactic.
Yeah.
So what would you guys like to do?
I mean, I'm gonna move into that room.
Can I look around and see if anything's there? Perception?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Can we all percept?
Perception?
You may all perceive-cepty.
Perceive-ish?
My work here has been done. I'm just like, yes,
Good job.
I've done it. Like, I'm just oblivious to everything.
Apparently.
Yeah, the fact that it was almost dead before you even came in and now you think you just killed it yourself is real funny.
Oh, yes.
So you guys investigate. You notice a couple doors on the north, east, and south walls. As you kind of wander through, you see the vegetation, the small plots of land, the futile attempts to try and grow the plants underground where there is no sunlight whatsoever. Do any of you check the body of the bugbear?
I sure do, because I killed it.
Oh.
You scored too low.
I sure don't.
You're too low!
I look at it and I say, it is
I killed
dead.
it.
I did it.
I will.
Okay.
She has better perception.
So, as you're investigating and checking the body, notice that there is a pouch tied to the to its waist. You pop it open and you find one potion of healing.
Oh shit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a potion where you pull it up, and as you kind of twist it in the dim light, you can tell it's a red viscous liquid. You've seen these types of bottles before, and as you tilt it, you see this golden shimmer through the liquid, denoting the presence of the arcane healing power contained within.
Cool. Yay, now I have 3 of those. Awesome, I will take that.
Aside from that, you notice on the table there's a few small gardening implements. There's, small shovels and trowels and things like that. And there's a wheelbarrow here that's been used to move compost back and forth. But that's about it.
Ew.
Does it reek of manure in here?
It probably does.
It is less so manure and more so just dead, rotting other plants that did not.
Manure.
Do they use dead bodies as compost?
They might be.
Ew. I just look around.
Can I go into this door?
Jayas is gonna just pull her little neck scarf thing up over her face.
Yeah,
okay.
I think Amelia would do that too.
Okay. So yes, you can approach the door.
Okay, I'm going to use perception.
Go ahead and use investigation for checking out the door for traps instead of
that's not much
you're giving it a detailed investigation. So you look it over, you give it quick. You check the locks. You look left and right of the door to see if there's any traps. Nothing seems to stand out. You test the handle a little bit. It feels like it would open. It's not locked or anything.
Okay, so I look back at everyone else and I'm like, you want to check out everything else in here first, or should we go through the door?
I'm
being all anal because I wanted to check this middle room because we skipped over it.
Then we don't go in this door yet.
All right.
And then I'll dash to you guys.
Was it just this other door over here?
So there's that one there, and then there's a door on the south wall here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So while she goes towards the middle door, Jayas is gonna go to the. Jayas is gonna have another moment where she barks like a dog, and then she's gonna go to the southern door.
Okay.
I have no control over her, obviously.
Who goes in first?
I think Janaga. She was first.
To where? The middle door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I go in first.
Okay. So you approach the southeast door first, or I'm sorry, the eastern door first.
Mm-hmm.
And you open the door. You open the door slightly.
Yes.
And as soon as you do, it's been damp and cool in here while, the humidity of the rotting grossness hangs in the air. You open the door and it's immediately noticeably a few degrees warmer. You step inside and there's a luminescent mist that blurs the edges of this octagonal chamber.
Uh-huh.
And nodules of glowing fungus kind of dot the stone walls and the ceiling, providing a little bit of light. You also notice that there are some toadstools and mushrooms that litter the ground, and there's some of the fungus on there.
Things in this room.
There's small polyps and puffballs and lichen and all sorts of different fungal types of plants. The humid air does reek with more rot. It's stronger in here than it was in the last room.
Can I do a check on the room?
Yes, you can.
That's a perception check?
Yeah, perception. Alright, so as you are looking for the room, you notice as you get over here that you start to feel it's extremely warm from this side. And kind of check around the rest of the room. There doesn't seem to be anything of note here. However, you're kind of tenuously avoiding this section. Something just doesn't feel right about it.
If you're about to tell me there's another fire snake in there and it's just hiding underneath all this crap, I'm gonna run out the room. Run out the room and say, let's just keep going.
No, I want it. I want more armor.
Oh, now you're on my side. Oh.
Unless it's a fire snake, Adam.
Do you go and investigate it closer?
Do it.
Okay, I'll go and investigate closer.
Alright, so you get close, and the heat is getting almost unbearable now. And as you kind of reach into the rotted earth and grossness, a fire snake starts to come up from...
Yes!
And it makes an attack at you.
Somebody fall over.
Pretty close.
I'd like to think I said I knew it without realizing the earrings were on, and I just scared somebody out there. Like, what was that?
Yeah, but make sure you contact us with those earrings, please. I want these scales.
Yes, I'm on the earrings now. Get in here now.
And just before she moves, Jayas once again looks at the door in front of her like every goddamn time.
I'll get back on the earrings and say, Amelia, if you want more armor, get in here.
Oh, I'm coming.
Alright, everyone go ahead and roll initiative.
Amelia's on her way.
Why did I just think of like the Xena theme? Like everybody roll initiative. Da 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 da.
Oh my god.
You gotta do the call. You gotta do the call. I want you to run into
just
the
did.
call so bad.
Alright, so
Da 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 da. Jayas the queen.
Paying attention to this right now. Xena was like her favorite.
oh good lord. So Janaga, you get to go first. What would you like to do?
Freedoms. I'm moving back.
Okay.
Moving back, and I'm gonna use the short bow.
Okay, go ahead and roll your
I ain't
attack.
getting close to this thing again.
Alright, so a 12. So you line up your shot, you loose an arrow from your short bow. The snake is basically unburrowing itself, and you manage to shoot it into the earth as it's coming to its full height. It does not connect, however.
Damn.
Would you like to do anything else?
Get back on the earrings and say, get in here! Check us in here!
I'm already in here.
I know you're in here!
She
Alright,
wants me to get in there because she doesn't trust you. She trusts the killing machine.
I trust you! And the fact that I know you want the armor.
Not while I'm around.
I'm gonna punch you, huh?
What,
I'm gonna
like,
get
are you
that
standing
armor.
in front of the door, like, preventing Amelia from
No,
going in?
no, I'm
Is that
not.
what's happening?
alright, Jayaz, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
I was gonna use my short swords, but this thing is putting off some heat, right?
Correct.
I'm gonna do this on the big computer, because... oops. That's not what I meant. I needed this one. So it's... So in theory, I could move up the 15 feet, attack it, and then retreat 15 feet, right?
Yes, but if you enter within 5 feet of it and you try to retreat, it'll get it'll get an attack against you.
Yeah, that's why I moved back. I'm relying on bows.
First, I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark
Okay.
on it.
So I'll mark off your second spell there.
Yeah, and for everybody, I'll put that so you know. So I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark, and then now here's the thing: if I'm using both short swords, does that mean I get a plus D6 on each attack?
You get a 1d6 whenever you hit it with a weapon attack. So yes.
Yes. Okay. So against better judgment, I am going. Oops! I did the thing. I'm gonna just get up in there, let the heat. I'm gonna bark at it.
Bad idea.
He's going insane tonight. So I'm just gonna get up there in the fire, and I'm gonna try with my short swords.
Okay.
So, well, I only meant to roll the one first.
Right.
So that's a 9.
And a 3.
And a 3.
So that 8. Anytime that you attack with an offhand weapon, you don't get the bonus on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you swing twice. Unfortunately, it's still unburrowing itself as you approach, and you're trying to swing at it, but it's very deft and squiggling out of the way. So it's maneuvering away from your blades as you're taking these shots at it.
So I'm gonna make that noise as it's unburrowing. I'm gonna go bleh.
Okay.
And that's all I'm gonna do.
And that's it. Okay, Amelia, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I already checked. It's 30 feet to get to the door, so I'm gonna my turn to move.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot the. Here we go. Move in there. Like that, and then I'm done.
Okay. You could short sword it or bow attack it if you wanted.
Oh, could I? But I used more than 30 feet to move.
Oh, you used additional to get in there. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
Because if she just used the 30, she would have been right outside the door.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right. Erendil and Urki, you're up.
Let's see. We're like super far away. We could not even get to the door. I guess we can move as far as we can.
Okay.
Because that's all we
And
can
remember,
do.
you two can both take a dash action even further.
Okay, but the dash action will end our turn.
Right. Basically, you'll still have a bonus action if you want to use that, but aside from that, you'll be all out.
The dash is additional how many? 30?
Additional 30 feet. Yeah, it's double your movement speed, basically. So you get 30, and then you get another move of 30.
I'll dash. And Urki will also dash.
Okay. So it is now the fire snake's turn.
What will he do?
He's going to maneuver between you two, and he's going to take a bite at tail attack it. So
That's not
bite
fair.
attack first. The bite attack misses. It tries to snap at Jayaz, and Jayaz definitely moves out of the way. As it bites, it also swings its tail around and tries to hit E. However, E, as she's entering the room, is still moving full momentum, sees the tail attack coming, and it's fairly low. She actually just jumps over it and maneuvers out of the way.
Like hopscotch.
Janaga, it is your turn. We are at the top of the round. What would you like to do?
You know what? I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna move in front, and I'm gonna use Alari's laughter. I realize I use that way more often than my rapier, but I think my rapier is pretty weak right now.
It's also worth noting that that is a +1 longsword for anyone who's not familiar with it that's watching. Yeah. So it is a magical short sword as well. Yeah. Or, sorry, a magical longsword.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a little more of an advantage.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah. So that definitely does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
Alright. So, you withdraw Alaria's laughter, and as you make a cleaving motion to catch it, you manage to get a decent chunk out of the side of it, hack into it, and while the blade doesn't cut clean, it manages to hack into the side, and as you draw the blade, it continues to make some additional damage. It suffers 9 points of slashing damage.
Don't mess up the scales too much.
I promise I won't.
As you hit it, you feel this heat wave kind of blast you a little bit, and you feel it blister your skin. You suffer 3 points of fire damage.
Yay.
Is there anything else that you would like to do?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
I like that we're all in a line again.
Yeah.
It's a conga fight!
Except for Amelia. She's still back there.
Conga line of fighting. How
Alright, Jayaz, you are...
Alright, I'm gonna still... Now from diagonal, I could still do short swords, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Sorry.
You're still within range, so...
Alright, so that's what I'm gonna do. That's a 12 for the first one. Does that hit?
It does not.
Awesome. And then the second one would, that'd be a 9.
Yeah, so that one doesn't hit either.
Womp.
Womp womp.
Well,
sorry.
Hold it real quick, just with the bonus thing. I'm looking at it. I have a +5 because it's 3 for dex and 2 for proficiency. Neither of those would count.
I believe... Hold on, let me look at the rules, because I have it up.
Challenging the DM.
No, it's not challenging. It's just clarifying. Clarification.
Alright.
Your
The two-weapon
inspiration
fighting
yet?
has been hard for us.
Yeah.
Because I've been trying to get this right since our first game, and I keep screwing it up, because it's hard, yo.
You're doing great.
You don't add your ability modifier to the damage unless the modifier is negative. So the ability modifier is the dex.
That would be the dex modifier, so you still get to add your proficiency. So that would be an 11, right?
Well, my proficiency is 2, so it would.
So 9 plus 2.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So yeah, it still wouldn't hit, but
Okay.
that's good to know.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and build these out so that the dice roller actually ones your offhand, so it doesn't include that extra stuff. So it makes it easier for us to do.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I mean, not cool because I didn't hit it, but like cool.
Yeah. All right. Amelia, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Sure. Don't use an arrow. No.
Why?
We're all standing right here.
Oh. Well,
I like to think you're arching it, so it's.
Yeah, I was gonna say unless you have a critical failure. I mean, you're seasoned adventurers. You're pretty well versed with bows.
Yeah.
Us, Adam.
Yeah, unless something goes horribly wrong.
I was gonna say I'm.
Yeah. No, you're fine.
Tall. Please. I'm
so
a big target.
Yeah. So you do have a limited line of sight with your party members in the way, and you're trying to be careful about making your shot. You think you see an opening between E and Janaga, and you let loose the arrow. However, it was safe to sail between those two, but it did not connect with the snake.
Can I move?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Let's just make a box around him.
I'm just gonna move there.
Just make a box.
Well, actually, is it rogues if he's being flanked get a bonus, right?
Do we?
Yeah,
you
there's
get
a flanking
sneak
thing.
attack. Please hold.
I played a rogue once many years ago, and I remember constantly being yelled at to flank it for a bonus.
Hey, you use what you got.
Yeah.
Okay, so while it doesn't give advantage, if you do hit, you get an extra 1d6. And Janaga, that applies to you too. So go ahead and roll one additional d6 from that last hit we did.
Oh, you want me to do it now?
Yeah, I don't want you to miss out on it.
Yay,
1d6?
I remembered something.
Uh-huh.
4.
Alright, so we'll deduct 4 more points of damage for this guy. Alright, cool.
I feel
So
a little
yeah,
better.
I'm gonna let you guys know how sneak attack works, but I want you to remind me to get one that connects because I might forget. So sneak attack, if you have advantage on the attack roll, or if the enemy has one of your allies in range that it's focused on. So for example, if there's anyone else other than you in 5 feet of it threatening it, you get sneak attack bonus.
Okay.
Awesome.
Alright, and in fact,
Is that for all of us or just rogues?
that's for rogues only, and
Yeah, me and Amelia. That's
Okay.
hold on.
right.
I'm doing some extra verification because I think you might get 2d6 instead of 1d6.
Oh.
Ice cream
Looking at
man.
it.
Again? I need my
Okay, yeah.
lavender whatever we got with.
So at level 3 and 4, your sneak attack bonus is 2d6. Go ahead and roll one more d6 of damage.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, minus 3. Jeez, you rogues are going to deal like so much damage if I remember how to do all this. Okay, so going back to the turn order, Amelia, you missed with your shot. Is there anything else you want to do? I think you might be ice cream trucked, so I'm going to assume that's a no.
That's all.
Okay,
Screen
cool.
trucked. I love it.
So, and Urki, you are up next. What would you like to do?
Thunderwave.
Thunder Wave. Okay.
Do I get to cast it at a level 2?
So let's see here. Thunder Wave. Is that Thunderclap or Thunder Wave?
Thunder Wave is what I have it written down as.
Okay.
Yeah, wave.
There it is. Okay, first level spell. Bloop.
Not level 2.
So you can cast it. Where's my prepared spells? You can cast it up a level. Oops. So if you do, it will deal 3d8 of thunder damage instead of 2 of thunder
God
damage.
damn.
Why would anyone go lower? Okay.
So you have limited spell slots. So you have 4 first level spots and 2 second level slots.
Right, I'll just do level 2.
Okay. So go ahead and you cast your thunderclap. You bring your hands together in this or a thunder wave, you push your hands out in front of you and emit a thunderous that affects everything within 15 feet in the direction you're casting it. There's no one in front of him in the cone. It only hits him. He needs to make a saving Constitution throw, which it does not succeed on. Go ahead and roll your 8 of thunder damage.
God, and this is Urki doing this?
This is me.
No,
this is
oh,
me.
this is E.
Alright, so...
No.
11.
11. Thank you.
So,
I don't math good.
No, I don't either. The only reason why I know how to do it is because it's D&D. So you turn and you emit your hands in front of you, and this thunderous clap just goes boom and just forces out in a wave from you of sonic energy. And it blasts the fire snake, it hits it and uproots it, flinging it across the room, bashing it against the wall, and it slumps over lifeless. You're not sure if it's the impact of the thunder wave or the impact against the wall, however, it's no longer moving. It's
its body.
Jayas, in all of her infinite wisdom again, is it dead?
I want to think like when it hit the wall, a lot of the scales flew off, and Amelia like starts running like, "Gimme!"
No.
I actually would also like scales because I have a plan of how I would like to use them. I'm gonna ask Amelia. She minds if I get some as well. For the project that I want, I wouldn't need a lot of them.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure Discord didn't do the thing.
Do the thing
I
again.
know it's been doing the thing like a lot lately.
Yeah, go for it. Take some scales.
Okay.
Alright, go ahead and roll a nature check. Or who's harvesting the scales, I guess I should ask.
What? Or do you want to harvest them?
My nature is only +1.
Mine's +3, so.
Go ahead.
Yeah, mine's 3.
Get a +1 for nature.
Okay. It's only a 6 though, so you might want to roll.
Do you want me to roll and then I'll like? Okay, there you go.
I am
Okay,
also
12.
very nature-like, if you need a hand.
No, you're not touching
You
my
need somebody to
scales.
Oh, okay.
scrape it, I guess.
I was gonna say, it's whoever wants to give it a shot.
Oh, I'll give it a shot. Yeah, then. The one.
I'm gonna like kind of just like, you know, be dusting everything off and be like, oh, did you need help with that? And then also cry.
Aww.
Okay,
Oh yes, we needed all that help.
so
Adam, just give me the scales.
Maybe Urki can
But
try.
I won.
Yeah, Urki,
Why?
try.
Yeah, I mean,
jeez, do work.
have some for it.
How would I even
so-
do that for Urki? Just do it again.
So he wouldn't have hold on, he wouldn't have, I think, proficiency with it. I'm trying to think of what role it would be.
Alright.
It should say on the character sheet next to the ability.
Hold on.
Hold on, I got
I
two
have
windows open here.
minimized his screen to be so small so that I can see everything. Hold
Right.
on.
So nature is an intelligence roll, so if you make an intelligence check, that would be his attempt. Okay, 11. So, E, you basically go in with a small knife, and you carefully try and flay away some skin with the scales still attached, so that you can bring it to a leather worker for manipulation.
How many do I
it's-
get?
It's not quite as good a job as the first one that you guys found. It's a little bit harder to get everything up easily. However, you do manage to salvage 10
Okay.
scales.
Nice.
Perfect. That's perfect. That's all I need. I have plans.
I won't
Alright.
ask unless it's like a surprise.
It's not a surprise. I plan on putting them on gloves so that I can
Oh.
shield myself, shield my face.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Alright, so this room is free of any enemies. You've successfully collected and harvested some of the scales. Is there anything else you would like to do here?
So I got no scales.
Well, there's 10 total.
She needs them.
So
How many did you get?
Maybe there are
Got-
more fire snakes along
Yeah,
the
there's
way.
other fire snakes.
There seems to be an abundance of snakes in these caverns.
You know what I noticed that they're seriously lacking in these caverns?
What?
Bakeries.
Eye candy.
What was that?
Eye candy.
Eye candy.
I mean, it depends on what you're into.
I was gonna say, if you're into bugbears, there's a bugbear. Then tons of goblins.
In Jayaz's case, it's anything moving.
Oh,
I mean, you hit on the Dragonborn guy, and then
Yeah, he was
Bakery
pretty all right.
and then you hit on somebody in here too.
I mean, you'd have better luck of saying who she didn't hit on.
Right.
Yeah.
Girls, we don't need to have this conversation right now. We still have to get out of
Maybe
this
we
place.
Okay,
we're just
I
bickering.
don't to search in this room, so I'm gonna drag Erky out.
Okay.
Okay.
Did we look around all this room?
I didn't care to do so. That's why I left.
Okay, well then.
I only did my perception, and then I found the snake. So.
Do I
do
do
one?
a perception roll?
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception.
2. Great. No thanks.
Yeah, you don't see anything of any import, unfortunately. You just kind of...
busy being a wrecking machine earlier.
Yeah, I was going to say, you give a thought to kind of think, like, I should poke around more carefully. Then you just go, I'm sure Janaga did it fine. And you're just on the way out.
I was actually gonna say, like, any of these weird mushrooms or whatever, are, like, usable.
You'd have to look.
Yeah, look.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll look.
That's-
Is that another perception check?
So that would be nature, because you know that there's fungus there. Like, you can see it, you're just not sure if any of it's useful or not. So,
Okay.
I'm
Kind
also
of-
gonna poke around them.
okay.
Mikey.
That's
So-
not mine.
My dog.
Oh.
You both look at some of the funguses and try and determine if any of them are familiar. You recognize a couple, like, flat cap mushrooms that may or may not be healthy. Normally they'd be fine. However, it feels like
It has
given
been
that
basting
they're-
in rotting flesh.
yeah, I wouldn't
Wouldn't take.
I wouldn't post it. I wouldn't
Okay.
touch it.
Can I
Really?
say back to everybody, like, through my earpiece, that the reason I'm not interested is because nothing useful is going to grow down here. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, but you're totally inclined to search around if you want to. I mean, but that's just E's opinion.
Search
Of course, I
every
don't
room.
like
You never know what you'll
No.
find.
That's just the way E feels about it, because it's like it seems so unnatural. She doesn't want anything to do with it. That's why I don't care to search.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I will leave the room now.
Yeah.
Considering there's
I'll
nothing
also
left.
be like, now that that's over, Jayas is like, now back to my door. And she's going to come back to this
There's still that door on the south side too. So
that's the one she was going to go through. So
that is okay.
I
So
guess,
who's gonna uncover the next fire snake so that she
Yeah.
can't go?
Yeah, you go through the door.
so I use perception to check it for investigation to check it for traps. The 18 was the first one.
Okay. You check the door for traps. You're looking around. You don't see anything specific. You're pretty sure this door's fine to go through.
All right, so I go through the door.
Okay.
Wow, this, I'm going to say on my earring, this looks a lot like the other room.
Yay! I wonder what's gonna happen.
And then I'll percept the room.
Okay, go ahead and search.
Great.
Is it another
It's
snake?
beautiful.
But this time it's like blue.
Sorry,
That
I
would
didn't
be-
scroll the thing down. It's a beautiful, beautiful room.
Yeah, pretty much. You look around, it's the same kind of like weird funguses and stuff. It still smells really heavily of rot and grossness.
Is there heat?
There's no heat in this room. It feels pretty damp.
Damn it. I
I'll
just
I'll
want
say
more
to them
food.
through the earring, like, you guys want to check this out, or
No, I don't care.
No.
I don't care.
I mean, At this point, like we've been down here for a while, and E does not like being underground.
Yeah, at this point, you guys have been down here. You've taken a couple rests, which you assume are overnight. However, given that you've been underground, you're not quite sure how much time has passed, or whether or not it's day or night right now, to be honest.
That's true.
And then I suddenly remembered we had adult children to find.
The children!
Well, one of them's dead.
Oh, the child.
He's not a child. He's like 30.
That's why I said adult children.
Alright, so I guess there's nothing here.
Let's just go to the top door now. Let's go.
Yep, top door. Let's go. I'm going in.
Top door.
Yep. Yeah, you go in first, just in case.
Okay.
Just in case.
Ooh, what's this?
I will follow you in.
Alright, so, as you move into the room north of
I will follow you.
So this is another garden gallery where it's, lined with soft soil that appears to have some plants that are attempting to survive. However, nothing in this is thriving. You feel that it won't be long until the plants that are in here probably die. Along the right wall here, you see a door, and then you also see another one to the north.
Another room like this.
Another one.
Okay. Well then,
You
I
could
will need to move my screen.
I want to go north.
Okay.
Okay, then I'll go to this one. If I can move my person. God, computer.
Yeah, get it together.
So investigation. Is that
I
right?
will go with Amelia to her room then.
Okay, so you're both investigating the doors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay,
have
go ahead
to
and roll your checks.
together.
16.
Yeah, you have better.
Yeah, can you
Oh,
guys roll?
perception?
Yeah,
I thought it
was
was
rolling
investigation.
doors. Yeah, investigation. Because you're
then.
Yeah, perception is basically you're looking to see if anything catches your eye or are you aware of something.
Yeah, it was so
Investigation is
bad.
like I'm looking at something with a magnifying glass and getting really up close with it. Okay. So Amelia, you're looking at the door. You do a pretty good job of going through and giving it the good once over. Jenna, you kind of Janaga.
I'm just like, it's a door. Go through it.
Look, it's a door. We can go through. Like you just basically reach out and test the handle as she's looking up and down, and you just kind of go,
Bro,
Good.
ever. And by no sheet that says that. In all caps, too, because you're not silent.
How do I get
working
Erky
on
to
that.
do an investigation?
what was it? What?
How
Get
how can I
Erky to
get-
do investigation?
Can Erky do investigation? It would just be an intelligence roll for him.
Woohoo.
Okay, 16. So Erky
Erky's so
checks
good.
the door, and he's like, "Oh, check it out. I'll take a look." He's checking underneath the door, on top of the door. He looks inside the lock very carefully to make sure that there's no traps. And he looks up to you and he goes, "I think we're good."
I'm gonna go on through.
And
It's
there's
back.
a train!
No train! Everybody's ready.
As soon as I step through.
Everybody's right.
Oh god. Okay, I guess I can search around this room, even though I don't really care to.
It's like a purplish room.
Weird. So, is this perception, or is it an investigation again?
You're just looking in the rooms. This would be perception. You're just kind of getting a quick layout of the room to see if there's anything worth noting.
Yeah, you're not doing like a close look.
Right.
Yep. So it's a 10. There doesn't seem to be anything of interest in this room. You do notice that this one is a little bit different in that it's been cleaned out. There's still dirt and grossness on the floor in the top left corner. However, it seems like this one has been recently scraped clean of whatever was in here, probably in preparation for the next round of plants coming through. There is a door along the southwest
I didn't
wall
even-
here.
I didn't see that either.
Okay, let's see.
Oh shit, yeah, it blends in.
Yeah.
I get Erky to check it again.
He just runs ahead like, I got it.
Well, that
I'm
happened.
useful!
No, it's not. He's really
Murphy
not.
approaches the door and he kind of misunderstands what you asked of him. He checks the door, kind of pushes the door open a little bit, and he's like, yeah, it's open. But there's no traps.
Oh my god, he's so dumb.
Well, we both suck. Okay. I guess I'll go on through if that's cool with y'all.
Go ahead.
Do it.
Go for it.
As I say on the earring. Go ahead.
Okay.
We can't. Whatever.
Find
So-
a snake.
As you enter
You guys, I think I found something.
As you enter and kind of walk further forward, you see a pretty pristine chamber that, for all the disrepair that it's been in, for how old it is, falling underground and stuff, it seems like this is one of the better kept areas. You see maybe in a little bit more so you can actually see it. You see a dragon carved in granite block standing at the end of the chamber there. It also smaller figurines line the walls of this chamber, although many are crumbled and broken, which leaves stony debris on the floor. In the center, the huge marble statue of a rearing red dragon stands in the curve against the wall. The eye sockets of the dragon are empty, however there is a faint red glow that lingers there, which provides reddish light throughout the chamber. The radiance casts a inky black shadow behind the statue's wide wing. It's roughly 5 foot in diameter, ahead of the statue is a roughly 5 foot in diameter circular tile of dark stone, which is set in the statue here.
Bless you.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
As you get closer and check out the tiles, see that there are runes that are carved around the inner edge of the circle.
What language are they in? Is it Draconic?
Let me see real quick. Where are your languages?
Oh, me, I speak Common, Elvish, and Druidic.
Okay. You do not recognize the language, unfortunately.
Does that mean Jayaz has to go?
I'd be familiar enough to think that it might be Draconic.
It could be.
Okay, so I'm gonna message to Jayaz and say,
Jayaz speaking,
think I
how
need
may
you
I
to-
help you?
Oh my god.
yes, I think I need your services.
One
Post-haste.
moment, please. And then she I think she's starting to go a little maybe cabin fever, not being out in the sun at all.
She would.
I was gonna say, she taps the earring and starts making her own hold music.
Yeah, I like to think me and Amelia are just leaning up against our door, can you believe this?
And then she comes in.
You're just singing that out loud to yourself as you're
Yeah.
walking.
Alright, so when I first
wouldn't rush in.
Yeah, when I first walk in, I'm gonna oh shit, I realized I was doing that on the big computer. My big I'm gonna check the room. I'm gonna percept it to make sure, again, the heebie-jeebies.
Okay. So, as you investigate the room and check out the center tiles that are they look a little bit different, you get close to it. Go ahead and position your character where you would be to investigate it.
So these tiles are, obviously, different.
Yeah,
right?
they're intentionally, it's an ornate design, it's circular, it is...
Step on them.
I'm gonna get, right to the edge of them, so without stepping on them, I could look down on them.
Okay, so around the circle itself is where the inscription is laid. It's about a big on the inside, and it lines it pretty clearly. You read it. Are you reading it out loud, or are you reading it silently in your head?
I'll read it out loud.
Okay, so you read it as you translate it, and it says in Draconic, "Let the sorceress power illuminate my spirit."
Okay.
As you do, the runes in the inner circle begin to activate and start to glow. What do you do?
I immediately say, "Oh shit," and then I tap the earring and say,
And repeat what you just said.
and say, "Oh shit, you guys should probably get in here.
Okay.
And then can I step back away from it?
Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Oh gosh.
Or, I'm sorry, no. Let's do a dexterity saving throw.
I thought you were gonna be like, actually, no, you can't.
I love it
Make it
whenever you do, Adam. I love it when you do your Mr. Burns hands.
Yeah.
Like,
Alright, dex saving throw is 9. I need your dice. That's with a +5, guys.
So, you see the flash of runes. You focus more on the time spent saying, "Oh shit, guys, get in here," than you do backing up. And in a flash, this mist starts to come from the tiles itself and come up, and you breathe it in. However, as you expect some kind of negative or reverse effect or something terrible, and you kind of freak out, you're like, and you're like covering your mouth trying to like not have it.
My little
get in
neck
your body.
scarf.
You actually feel this strange surge of confidence. Like, where you were slightly scared or terrified from something, you know, unknown happening, you kind of steel yourself and feel a little bit more firm, a little bit more rounded.
A little more yas.
For the next 24 hours, you have advantage on any charisma-based skill checks.
What?
However,
oh shit.
as you do so, the black shadows behind the statue here, the eyes kind of flare as the magic lights up and it gives you this boon. However, the shadow behind the statue doesn't seem to change when the light changes and erupts from the cabin, or from the magical pedestal, basically. And behind the statue, low inky blackness start to take form and actually move around and start to show itself. I need everyone to go ahead and roll initiative.
now,
If I had known there were going to be Dementors in this.
I'm so charismatic but fearful at the same time.
now he is gonna say, "Oh shit."
Oh
Why
shit.
am I all the way over at this other door and everyone else is over there? When did Shinaga go over there?
Probably when I said, oh shit.
I don't take oh shit lightly.
So I'll say, because the shadow doesn't jump out immediately, you guys can have one round of movement before it starts. So Janaga, you managed to make it to the room. Amelia, for sake of fairness, I'll say you also made it to the room here, just a little bit further behind.
Yeah.
So everyone's
that's gonna be too much.
pretty close together, yeah. Everyone's pretty tightly packed in here. So you all come in, as you see the mist kind of come towards Janaga, and then this strange creeping darkness emerges from behind the statue.
Does this shadow have a pet? Maybe a cat?
No.
I just thought
Damn it!
Like a shadow cat?
Like a shadow cat? That's useless to me. Start killing it.
Wait, hold on. Did our turns not update?
They did, however, I didn't clear the old list, so if didn't have...
Yeah, I was gonna say, the snake is still alive.
Snake
Yeah,
is
let's fight
dead.
another snake.
Turkey got a 16. Jayaz has a 15. Janaga has a 21. Yeah, you should all be up to date. I just need to roll for Shadow. Boop. Okay. And let's reorganize this. Bam. Janaga, you're up first. How would you like to proceed?
Okay. I will move here, because I have no idea what anything is going to do to a shadow. So I'm just going to let an arrow fly and see.
Okay. So it's a 17. It launches from your bow, and you see it actually sinks into the shadow of it, and it makes physical contact, which you weren't quite expecting. You were expecting it to go straight through.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll damage.
I thought we fought a shadow before.
Did we?
No, we haven't.
Not
Are
yet.
you sure?
I'm sure.
Huh.
I can't remember a lot of our early things we did.
We've done so
So
much.
this one hasn't been introduced yet. You guys haven't actually fought a shadow. There
Oh,
might have been some other
Shadow
things that might have been similar, but this is a legit just shadow creature. So
Shadow.
the bolt sinks in, and you see it make purchase. However, the shadow doesn't seem too affected by it. It suffers some damage, but you get the sense that it's not truly wounded like it's something pierced by an arrow should be.
Hello.
Would you like to do anything else?
I just want to turn to E and say, do you have anything that's light-based that maybe it would hurt the shadow?
The only thing that I have that's light-based doesn't cause damage.
Okay, then I'm done. I have no idea what to do.
Alright, so we have a couple 6 next. We have Amelia, E, and Erky. Who would like to go first?
Not me. Reading.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I want to imagine her like actually there with a book, like
looking in the book. Like, hold on.
not yet.
Not
I
yet.
will move up to
Like,
here.
I just got into my circle of the land, so just give me a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna dagger him.
Alright. Go ahead and make your dagger attacks. So the first one is an 18, the second one is a natural 20.
Hey.
Alright. So go ahead and roll your damage for each. Alright, so...
I don't know why it said that plus stuff.
Because you
Because
get
it's a crit, right?
bonus. Hold on, yeah. So you rolled a 3 plus 2 is 5, and then plus 4? Oh, because it's double damage. So only one of them gets doubled. So the first one was the 5 plus 4, so that's going to be 5. The second one is going to be 6. So you draw your daggers, you approach, and you make some slashing motions at the shadow, and it cuts away at where the body is, and you feel actual give. Like, it's not just cutting through air, it actually has some substance to it. You feel the shadows tear, however, they stitch behind together. Shadow lets out kind of... If it could scream, it would be screaming. However, it feels more like a very harsh whisper in your ears. It suffers slightly less damage than you would expect it to. However, it still takes quite a bit. The shadow itself seems to be losing its shape or losing form a little bit. E or Erky?
Okay, Erky. Let's see. What is that? Okay, 60 feet. You can actually do it from back here. But I'm gonna move him down here. Is that, well, hold on. Yeah, that's enough. Okay, so I'm gonna have Erky cast Sacred Flame.
Okay.
Well,
Thanks, Erky.
okay.
Let's see. So you rolled a 1 for the
Not on his
1d8.
game today.
However, let me look up Sacred Flame. What kind of magic are you?
It is Evocation.
Flame-like Radiance. Got it. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I was looking to see some information just to see how it plays with the shadows, damage kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it takes... Erky moves forward, holds his holy symbol out in front of him. However, he's not really focused, or it's the rot in previous rooms or something. His brain's just not quite with it. He calls upon his holy patron's aid, and silver light does shoot forward. However, it seems very weak and it moves slowly, not dealing a ton of damage. The shadow, however, reels back in pain and screams where the radiant light manages to touch it, and you actually see the shadow start to have like holes punctured through it by the light where it makes contact.
Oh.
This attack seems to have done more damage than the other ones have done so far.
I was right about the light. Hey, that rhymed.
Well, I mean, I kind of read it out loud. Yeah.
Okay. And
I feel like in my head I heard blinded by the light.
Blinded by the... Alright, E, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
One more second, still reading.
That's okay.
I have a lot to read.
That's okay. You're a good druid. You know, you're doing your research.
I really don't. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna try Thunder Wave. Happens. Because at least that's an elemental thing that deals with a kind of light.
Alright, are you casting it from back there, or are you going to move it?
Wait, hold on. Sorry.
That's okay.
She holds up the finger to the shadow, and she's like, no, hold on.
Wait. Okay, yeah.
I can see her doing that, actually.
Okay. Yep. So, because all of this is like just one giant lesson to E, more so than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to cast it from right here, if that's cool.
Okay.
I'm going to try it at level 1, because I don't know if it's going to be successful.
Okay. So you go ahead and cast your spell. The thunder wave is released from your location, and it booms forward and connects with the shadow. The shadow needs to make a Constitution saving throw, which it fails. Go ahead and roll 2d8 of thunder damage, please.
Yeah.
Okay, Missy. All right, calm down.
Stay in school, kids.
Don't be afraid to bring books on adventures.
So you let forth this thunder wave and impacts the shadow, and rather than it blowing back a physical form, it actually just bursts the shadow completely and just hits it and just poof, it's completely gone.
Yay!
But is it?
Dun dun dun!
It is completely gone.
Yay!
Woo! There's
I like your character.
I look over to E and hug her from behind. You did it!
So
I really didn't know.
since I'm still standing over the tiles,
I was gonna say you didn't move.
no, I didn't go nowhere. I
It's
didn't
like
get a turn.
almost like you were afraid to move off the top.
Yeah, it was an oh shit moment. Do I notice anything else around these tiles? Like any other words?
You don't notice any other words. You try reading the description again, however, it doesn't seem to have any effect.
Alright. Against everybody else's better judgment, I'm gonna step on the tiles then and see if that triggers anything.
I'm hoping it's this door up here.
You walk into the tiles, and as you do, you step onto them, and it doesn't feel like there's any give under your feet. It feels like it's one solid stone structure. And you kind of walk in with your palms raised, kind of waiting to see what happens.
Because I'm super charismatic still.
And you're looking, and you're waiting, and
And Amelia's just looking at you like, what the fuck are you doing?
And nothing happens.
nothing happens.
I'm gonna like, okay then.
Then can I do a quick check on this door in front of me?
Sure can. Go ahead and roll investigation, please.
Woo!
Natural 20.
God damn.
So, you investigate the door, you kind of check it out, you tap, you look around the room as you do it to see if there's anything else that maybe opening this might trigger something else. That statue still looks kind of particular, you're like, I don't know, I don't trust it. However, after a very thorough check and kind of manipulating the door handle and everything, it is completely safe to move on. You do not detect any traps or any sort of unsavory business about the door.
Then I will move in and see what happens. Oh,
Alright.
Lovely.
So as you walk in, you see
Like a ruined sauna.
you actually see
It does.
these big fallen stone bookshelves that are either leaning or have toppled over completely, filling the chamber. Though there's a clear, it's a bookshelves.
Are there books?
Although a clear path connects wooden doors on both sides, so the one you just came through and the one on the opposite wall. There are torn and burnt pages, bindings, and scrolls basically all over the floor in different disheveled piles.
Can I check them to see if there's...
I want to go in there and look at them too.
Yes.
Going in with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I move up.
Go ahead and make a perception check as you sift through the rubble to see if there's anything of note. 14 and a 13?
Mm-hmm.
So, as you're going through the books, kind of the scrolls on the floor and anything else, most of it seems too far damaged beyond repair. Unfortunately, you guys don't identify any salvageable or usable.
Okay.
While they're doing that, can I check the statue to see if, like, I notice anything else about it?
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead. Investigation check, please.
Investigation.
Yeah.
The 12.
12.
The first
okay.
one.
So you check it out, and this resembles the dragon that you've seen throughout. This is probably the ultimate shrine in the temple to Ashardalon. And you feel that by reciting the rune, being close to the trigger, you've received a boon that, you know, gives you advantage on the charisma checks. However, the statue seems to be slightly devoid of any magic now, being fully tapped out of what the charge that it had prepared.
Gotcha. Alright, so I'm gonna just, like, earpiece over to them, and say, like, ask what they found so far. Because I still want to spend time with the statue.
What do you guys say?
We found another door.
Let's go through it!
And there's a bunch of burned book pages in here.
Before we go through that creepy door, do we want to check out the other creepy door that we were pulled from?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Well, I mean, we're already here, so let's go through this one.
I don't care to go through the other one. I want to progress forward more so.
I don't leave any door left undoored.
Undoored. I would make that a shirt. I don't leave any door left undoored.
Yeah. Alright.
So can I run back to the other door?
If you absolutely want to, yes.
I absolutely want to. So I run back.
Because she's going to do that, I'm going to stay within earshot so that I can still hear her if she says anything.
Okay. Now, mind you guys are pretty far away at this point. If you wanted to wait, you'd probably be best served in the room that she's currently in as she goes through the door. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, if she calls out for you now, it's like 2 rounds before you can reach her.
So I'm gonna investigate the door first.
Well, before you do, I think, Charlie, you investigated the door in your room, correct?
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Okay. So you check the door for traps, and as you do, nothing seems to stand out. You check the latch, you check the door, you check the handle itself, you check inside of the bookcases next to the door, thinking maybe something will pop out of there. Everything seems to be okay.
Like Batman's cave.
Yeah. Jayaz, go ahead and roll your investigation check, please.
Alright. So first I'm gonna do an investigation.
21.
It's a pretty good investigation.
So you are checking out the door, and as you do, you check the handles, the latches, the keyhole. Everything about the door seems to be legit on the up and up.
Okay.
You peek under the door, and you do manage to see some shuffling of movement. Basically just flickers of the light. You can't see details, though.
Alright, so seeing that, like, I'm just all about, like, finding the treasure and stuff, so, like, I just have to know what's back there. Seeing it work so well for Amelia, I'm gonna try to be stealthy.
You're not a rogue, though.
We got the stealth.
Yeah, like, you're by yourself.
But you did okay.
I did pretty alright.
You have freaking... Oh, God.
Alright, hold on one second here.
Let's just sit back and watch.
I am. I'm just gonna love this.
1 second. Hold.
Please hold.
Hold.
So what'd you roll? A 17?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Oh, geez. Okay.
Okay.
What was that for?
No, that was me being surprised about a stat, not anything bad.
Okay.
Alright, go ahead and go through the door if you'd like.
Stealthily go through the door.
Okay. So, as you move into the room, you are very stealthy. You don't seem to have gained anything's attention. You notice there are
It is a lovely room of death.
There are 3 skeletons that are kind of mindlessly tending to the garden. It's interesting because the one closest does seem to look up and notice you, but doesn't seem to react at all.
Because I'm so stealthy.
Leave.
In
My
lieu of that-
charisma just...
In lieu of that, there is a twig blight that has taken root in the center of the room who seems to just kind of be there observing the skeletons. It has not taken notice of you yet.
Alright, so can I stealthily back out of the room?
Yes, you can.
So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna get on the earring and just say, get here now.
Well, I want to check out the door in front of us first.
Now,
You can do that while I camp out here, see if I can salvage some books.
And then when
Okay.
Amelia's like,
something
I want to
for her.
check out this door, I'm gonna say, there's a ton of fire snakes. Wait till you see them.
I don't trust you. Why would I believe you?
Can I roll a, what's the deception?
Yes, it is.
Which is a charisma thing, so I have advantage. So,
Okay, so you rolled a 16. Now,
No, she rolled an 11. She rolled an 11.
but I have an advantage on charisma.
Oh, okay.
actually, okay, so what we'll do is you have advantage. It rolled twice for the first one, so it's an 11 and a 21. You take the 21.
Okay.
Amelia, go ahead and roll an insight check.
Insight.
Fire snakes galore.
Okay, so you hear her say this over the headset, and you believe her 100%. You're like, oh,
I
sweet!
don't trust her. What do
Doesn't
you mean?
matter.
I have decepted you.
She deceived you. She succeeded in making you believe that there's fire snakes. And you're like, oh my god, there's fire snakes.
I hate her.
But
Hate
fire snakes.
So as Amelia's heading out, I stop her and say, if she lied to you, punch her in the face for me once.
Oh, I am. Oh, don't worry. Curious.
She's
now
taking
to
my
hear
rope.
why she would call me over.
But no, I called everyone. Everyone
Oh,
needs to
whatever.
get here.
You get along famously, I just have to say.
I'm gonna be
Punch
like,
her.
there's
gonna be
there's
done.
a bunch of old books, and
He doesn't like the books. We were looking at the books.
and Janaga,
Yeah, she was
there's shiny things.
shiny.
Wow.
Ooh, shiny
Fine.
thing.
Can I roll an insight on shiny things?
You can roll an insight on shiny things, Jazz. Please
Hmm.
go ahead and roll one deception check with advantage.
I can hit it once.
That is a tie. Uh,
Don't
Yeah,
believe her.
stalemate.
So go ahead and roll one more time. You're basically going to roll again, contested rolls. So, Jenna, I need you to make one more insight check, please.
Shiny things.
I hate her.
All right.
I
She-
hate her.
She
Sorry, I hit the
manages
thing
to
again.
phrase it. Okay, so that one's actually for a check. So, let me get all these straight here since we all rolled at the same time.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's
So
okay. Take your time.
You're convincing.
She's trying to
Janaga with
convince
shiny
me.
things. Right, you're trying.
Yeah.
He's convincing Janaga with shiny things. You're convincing E with books. You're convincing
Amelia with
Amelia
fire
with-
snakes
That's what I
galore.
love about my character. I'm like
So-
not too interested in a lot of things.
So let's take all of that, and you succeed on all your checks. So we're gonna put this into a believable format that everyone kind of falls for.
I hate
Is
her.
you look into the room, you come back out, you grab your earpiece, and you go, guys. There's this extra chamber down here that we didn't investigate. It's another one of those arboretums. However, there's a couple fire snakes in here. Janaga, I saw some gems towards the back of the room that look absolutely stunning. They look like they're worth a lot of money. And E, I'm pretty sure I saw 2 tomes that are glowing with like this green energy. I think you should come down here.
Now you got
And all of you are like, oh my god, that sounds fantastic. Why did we not go in this room before? Oh my god.
Don't
Oh
worry.
my god, yes.
There's gonna be something that happens afterwards too when we find out the truth. Don't worry.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're all gonna gang up on you.
It'll be worth it.
I like really want it to be like if you clear out the room, he just turns to you and just thunderclaps and just slams you against the wall. Please.
So
one request.
You are all back at the door.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
Yes, oh great leader, Jayaz. What would you like to do?
Stealth and go in.
All right, go ahead and roll your stealth check.
12.
How long does stealth last?
So stealth, basically, it's a contested roll against the enemy's perception. I've already rolled perception for them in the room. Your perception roll is still valid because you're still stealthy. Okay. You haven't broken stealth yet. Charlie's is a brand new roll because you've been in combat, you've done other things, so we're starting fresh.
Oh, so it depends on the creature.
Correct. So basically, you trying to stealth against maybe like some kind of hawk that has really great perception is going to go very differently than, say, a mindless skeleton who really has no capacity of self-thought.
Okay.
So, you roll your stealth check. How would you guys like to proceed?
All right. Well,
cool. I guess I'll also stealth in.
Since I'm still stealthy.
I'm sticking with Amelia. Hey.
I was gonna say I was already stealthy. I was gonna go in first.
Well,
I don't trust you.
Amelia was already in.
Yeah,
so,
right in.
Well, I wanted to go in like because now could I, even though I'm not a rogue, would I get a sneak attack since I'm stealthed? No. Okay.
So a sneak attack is specifically a class-specific ability they get. However, you could help them by giving them advantage by getting next to it, but that's about it.
Okay, so I'm gonna go in then. Also stealthy, very like da-da-da against the wall.
That's not stealthy. Why doesn't she know?
Okay, so stealth in, and no one notices you're there yet. The skeletons, again, are pretty mindless. They see you, but just don't seem to care, and the twig blight is probably actually in stasis at this point, you think, because it's just not moving. It's not reacting.
How mindless?
So,
I mean, they have clearly looked at you and just do not give a shit. They're still tilling the ground in front of them and doing whatever they're supposed to be doing.
But they haven't taken a turn in combat yet.
That's what I was gonna say. Can we do like a check of the room without them like realizing we're there? We are.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna kind of like motion towards the blight and then look at them and do like the rhino face, like this is real cool, right?
We've seen blights before. What do you mean?
Yeah. This is what I'm assuming that rat was gonna turn into.
Okay, so you get up close to the twig blight.
Oh, I didn't say I got up close. I said I pointed to it.
Okay.
I did not get up close. I just pointed.
Okay. Okay.
And I was just like, I rhino faced. I like, yeah, thumbs up.
Okay.
Look how cool this is.
Got it. You're on like a Steve Irwin adventure. Like, crikey, look at it. It's twig blight.
That's pretty much it. I lied to all of them to get them in here to be like, look how cool it is.
She's a beauty, eh?
That's what I want to turn to Amelia and say, maybe I should shout now.
Yeah,
but,
right.
Like, turn it in her direction.
There's no snakes here.
Should I do that?
Turkey can do that. He has a spell that lets him do that.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And then I'll just pretend I'm leaving the room. Well, that was your fault. Bye.
Okay, can I dagger one now?
Yeah, what do you attack?
Yeah.
What do you attack?
I want to say the one right in front of you.
On the right.
With a skeleton there? Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on one sec here.
I forget how we killed those the last time.
We just beat them up.
No, I mean, like, what was more effective? Like, arrows or...
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can never remember.
Okay. So, go ahead and roll your attacks against the skeleton there. It is still a surprise round, so anything that hits is automatic critical. Both of those hit. Go ahead and roll for damage. Alright, so 8 points of damage doubled is 16. So you withdraw your blades, and you sever the skeleton twice. Once at the neck where the spinal column meets the back of the vertebrae and the skull, and then once at the hip, and just kind of shrink, and it tumbles apart, and you feel the snap of necromantic energy just dissipate that was holding the bones together.
Dope.
Initiative?
Hold on, not quite. Perception is what base skill? I don't have it in front of me.
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Awesome, thank you. Okay.
Oh, shit.
It notices the twig blade's eyes snap open and its arms kind of flutter out from itself in this creaking, quick, sharp movement as it notices the skeleton falls. Now it realizes that all of you are in the room. It's going to go ahead and roll initiative.
I did this to myself.
Our turn.
Yeah, you did.
Yep. Hold on. There we
That's
go.
okay, I'm outside.
That's how I felt when I was still like 3 rooms over.
Worry, I'm gonna handle Jayaz after this. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Thank you.
find so much cool stuff.
I'm gonna punch you. That's
I
what
bet.
I'm do.
I so bet.
So essentially, she got high, right? Like on ecstasy.
Oh, goodness.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. You're so smart. Yes.
And you all believed her. Okay.
Punch her.
So
I can
we're
test.
going into combat.
Well, she believed it herself. That's the weird part.
Yeah.
So we are engaged in combat. Amelia, it is still your turn since you are top of the initiative order. Surprise round is over. What would you like to do?
Oh. Should have enough room to get to the blade, yeah.
Oh yeah, plenty.
And daggering.
Alright, so you dagger. Go ahead and your attack.
Dagger.
Alright, 17. Hold on one second here. So the 17 hits. The 12 minus your 3 for the dex does not. So go ahead and roll damage on the first one. Okay. So you take your dagger and you swing it down and strike and kind of start severing the limbs from it. It is fairly fragile twigs. It doesn't have a lot of mass to it, so you slice it to ribbons pretty quickly, and it never even has a chance to uproot itself to make an attack.
Woo!
It just is dead.
God, how many kills is this today?
You have killed a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
She's gonna be the only one to level up this time.
By experience, otherwise I would agree with you. But
Is there anything else you would like to do?
yeah, I want to get closer to this skeleton on the far side. So hold on, let me see how much room.
Okay.
So that's 15. So I moved
Okay.
15 to get where I'm at. So I can move.
So you can move 15, just be mindful you don't have another attack prepared. So you'll just be standing next to him.
Okay, I'll just move here then.
Okay.
I mean, I'm still near him, but not on top of him.
All good. Janaga, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna move over here and just slice and dice with Ilaria.
Alright, 22
And there
hits,
you
go ahead and
go.
roll damage. 5 points of slashing. Okay. So, as you bring Ilaria's laughter down, it kind of lags a little bit as you pull it out and makes that weird sound. However, you swing it through the dimly lit chamber at the skeleton, who's still kind of paying attention to what it's doing. It's not necessarily paying attention to you yet. You manage to strike at it, and since it is preoccupied and is not paying attention, I'm going to say you get sneak attack. Excuse me, sneak attack on it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll 1d6 as well. Or, I'm sorry, 2d6. Okay, so it takes an additional 7 points of damage. You bring Ilaria's laughter down, and it barely looks up right as it's about to connect. Like, if it had a facial structure, you'd see it go, "Whoa," and then you just go, slamming into it. The necrotic energy holding it together shudders violently, and all the bones almost seem to fall apart. However, it structures back up. There's cracks and fractures all throughout the body as it snaps back in place. However, you feel like it's pretty much ready to fall over the next time that anything even touches it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you would like to do?
Can I, like, poke it and see if it just falls apart? The way you put that.
So you try and, like, lean into it, however, it shuffles back a little bit. It's still cognizant enough of trying to avoid you.
Okay. Then I'm good.
Alright. Jayaz, it's your turn.
Okay, so...
Yeah, do something since you caused this trouble.
I wanted the treasure!
There's no treasure!
There could be. So I'm gonna aim for the skeleton on the opposite side of the room.
Okay.
Legolas. That's 15.
15 hits, go ahead and roll damage.
Actually it'd be a 17 because the...
Right, because the additional damage.
6 piercing.
6. Do you add your bonus modifier to that too for Archer? So is it 9? Or 7?
Yeah,
or
it
8?
says just to the attack roll.
Just to the attack roll. Okay,
Yeah.
so minus 6 points of piercing damage. So you line up your shot, you let it fly. It manages to connect with the collarbone, and it actually chips off part of the bone completely. The entire skeletal structure kind of shudders for a second and realigns, having taken pretty decent hit.
Alright, that's all I want it to do.
Okay. It is now E and Urki's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna let Urki go first and use his channel divinity.
Okay. So he goes in and he burns his channel divinity, which is turn undead. So he's going to try and turn everything. The 2 skeletons are going to try and make a D12 wisdom saving throw. If they fail, it's turned for up to a minute. So what that means is they're essentially feared, and they will do whatever they can to get as far away from Urki as possible. They also can't take reactions, and during its action, it can only try and run. It's not going to do anything else. So let's get these skeletons to make their saving throws. That is an 8 and a 17. So the first one is feared. The second one, however, is not affected.
You don't
Is
care
channel
for your
divinity
freaks.
a cantrip of his?
It is a turn. It's once per
Okay.
short rest.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I missed that.
I
That's
like
okay.
the little skull that's above the one guy.
Yeah.
Cute.
I could have Urki chase him, and he would have to run away from Urki.
That'd be cute.
Little 3-foot nothing Urki.
Chasing
Little
them.
3-foot nothing Urki.
Waving his
just
glove.
around this guy. And the one skeleton's almost like he has, for sake of transparency, he has 1 hit point left, so he's probably like shambling around like this.
Fear me!
So he
So
has
good.
to move at least 30 feet from Urki.
Yep, on his next turn. E, you still have a turn as well. What would you like to do?
Okay. Let's see. I guess I will move in. Go. Yeah, I'm gonna go right here, and I want to shoot the other one with my
Okay.
short bow.
Go ahead and roll your
I keep
attack.
saying short bow, but it's long bow.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Which
that one actually registered, but that sucked.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. So you take your shot, you line it up. However, given that it's you're coming into the room, the rot smell kind of hits you and takes you a little bit off guard. You had been out of one of these rooms for a minute, and now it's all fresh again. As you go to take your shot, you kind of go, "Huh!" And you manage to fire wide. It doesn't connect.
Doesn't help that I'm facing the other wall.
There's that
the
too.
problem.
Let's just pretend it like deflected off.
Yeah. All right, so it is now the skeleton's turn. Seeing Urki holding its holy symbol, this guy immediately just turns tail and starts sprinting up against the wall here. And it is actually still facing the wall, and it's like clawing at the wall, trying to get through it. Its long, bony fingers just dragging across the concrete. This one here is going to shuffle towards Amelia and try to make an attack as well. As soon as I can find their character sheet, because I closed it. So it's going to use a sword attached to its hip to make an attack. Amelia, what is your...
What?
What's your armor class? Your AC? I think it's a 14. Yeah, it's 14. Okay. So that connects, and it does 3 points of piercing damage. It is now Amelia's turn again. However, I think she is muted at the moment.
Womp womp.
So we will hold her turn and let her take gets back. Janaga, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Never mind. Oh. I forget, like, how much did I move already?
Well, it's a new round, so you get a full round of movement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to move to this guy where Amelia was, and just, you know what, I'll give my rapier a chance.
Hey!
Give Rapier a
Useful
chance.
again! It's useful again.
Alright, so you rolled a natural 20, which means your damage is double. Go ahead and click that rapier damage.
Oh.
Oh.
Dude!
Damn.
Dang.
Oh,
So
it's
you
like
roll-
my dead husband's spirit making it strong again.
Oh my god.
So you roll an impressive 19. Your rapier swings through the air, makes contact with the skeleton, manage to cleave it apart. However, as you do, you hit it with such force that it just absolutely severs several different bones and slices them in half. And it collapses to the floor dead.
That's awesome. That's like the best roll I think I've ever had this entire
Good
game.
job.
Yay!
Welcome to the club.
Now don't do any worse than that.
Virtual high fives.
Yeah.
Those numbers are higher from
I like
now
to
on.
think that we're all just like jumping up and down excited.
Yeah.
Yay!
I like to think that happened in slow mo with my cape just like flailing in the wind, but there's
Yeah.
no wind, so
It was
by
super
sheer
dramatic.
force.
Alright, Charlie, I believe you're back. It is your turn. What would you like to do?
There's only this dude left, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna dagger him.
And you get it with advantage because he is currently feared.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll damage. That definitely hits.
6.
Alright. So you just kind of casually walk over. You have your daggers in your hand. You actually like flip one in your hand and kind of catch it again as you're walking over. And as you get close, you just kind of, not even like threateningly or trying to make a big deal out of it, you walk up behind it, you just grab the skull and do one of these while it's too busy trying to claw its way through the wall.
Okay, can I still use my turn for something then?
Yeah, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna go over to Jazz and punch her in the face.
Hey!
Okay.
No.
I knew it.
Used
Jazz is
Oh,
gonna,
why I press dagger?
15.
is gonna block it.
Alright, so you can't quite. Well, I mean,
Aw,
combat
come
is
on,
ending, so
Adam.
we'll use it. We'll use it between combat rounds. So you walk over here, you kill this dude, he's dead, and then you make an unarmed attack. Because at this point, oh, wait, who am I moving? Janaga. Whoops. So
I'm ready.
as you finish combat, and everyone thinks that everything's done, you walk up to Jazz. Go ahead and roll a unarmed attack. So it's just a d20 plus your strength.
Okay, so strength is, I don't freaking D20, roll a 7 plus.
Okay, so
what's-
7. So looking at your other character sheet, it's a 7 plus a 4. So that's your proficiency bonus plus punching. So that's an 11.
My armor class is 13.
Okay.
Damn it!
So Amelia, you walk over and you are about to punch Jayaz again. However, she's played this game before and got socked right in the face. She sees the anger in your eyes and she come in and she just brings up her arms in a guard and as you punch, she blocks it with her forearms.
I'm gonna say this is like a Three Stooges skit in my face.
I hate her.
I'm gonna say, look, there might be something here.
Mandy's curly.
You better hope there is.
And Charlie's Mo.
I want everyone to go ahead and make a perception check to see anything in the room.
Yep.
Okay.
There's something here. Let me find it now.
Amelia,
Otherwise, I'll punch her again.
I want to go back to my burned library.
I know, right? Me too.
Mandy, go ahead and say that line one more time. There might be something awesome in here. What was that?
There might be something here. Let's check.
Narrator. There was nothing here.
Can we all gang up on her now and just like, you know?
There's nothing on the bodies?
There is literally nothing in this room.
I'm gonna punch her. Like, I want to hurt her now.
Alright, I'm leaving.
I'm
just
punch
storming
her.
out.
Who out of us is the fastest? Asking for a friend.
Let's see. So we would go by dexterity.
I have a 6.
Janaga's the fastest with an 8.
Damn it.
Wait, hold on.
Why did you ask?
I was gonna run to the library.
Well, if we're talking movement speed,
do you want me to make...
move 30 feet. Actually, no. Eve moves 35, apparently.
I'm just
I like to see her run. No, don't let her run, because I will go after her. Don't let her run. Let her run, and I'll go after her.
I'm gonna hang my head and just be like, I thought with all of them there could have been something really cool. Like, just kind of like, tail between my legs.
All the other rooms, it basically said they were gardens. They were just growing gross crap down here.
Okay, so
and the snakes called it home.
Can I step in front of Jayaz and put up my hand and threaten a thunder wave if they bother her?
I mean, yeah, you definitely can.
I'm not. I'm not gonna do it. But if they come closer, I'm going to. Like, let's just go.
I was doing it for the team.
Why us? Why are you gonna threaten us when she's the one that just bullshit?
Hi. Okay, she's high. Let's just go.
She's high. It was some
I don't know about me, but I'm not really the type of person to take care of their friends when they're drunk or something, so I don't care.
Yeah. Okay, so at this point, everyone kind of storms out, leaving Jayaz, who follows behind.
Yeah.
Kind of keeping her distance. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like a sad
Everyone makes their way back to the library. And among the
I'm just there.
scrolls and everything else that is going on in there, you decide, you know what? We've been going at this for a bit. E, you've used quite a bit of your spells. Jayaz, you have as well.
Mm-hmm.
You figure now might be a good time to kind of... This is a small area. We can fortify it. There's tons of stuff to go through in here. Why don't we camp out for a little bit and just kind of
amongst the books.
Rest. Yeah. Very, I would say very Belle and Beauty and the Beast, except this is a really, really shitty library, guys.
That was the sole reason I wanted to stay in that room.
I'm so mad that all the books are like,
I hadn't gone in the library before, and they said something about a library, and I go in and I'm like super underwhelmed.
That's like, could she roll like her own perception check to see if maybe she finds something?
Yeah, roll it now.
There ain't nothing in here, y'all.
But I want something.
There ain't nothing in here.
Okay.
Is there no paper that I can just be like, oh, cool, it's a paper.
Like it's one glowing paper that only she could see.
So
My elf
he
eyes.
looks around the room and does not see anything of particular note. However, you guys end up clearing a small spot where you all can set out bedrolls and relax for the evening.
I want to be far away from everyone.
It's a tiny room.
Even me, I was the one that wanted to be in the library with you.
I would say there's like 20. It's a 20 foot square, like 10 by 10 by 10.
Far away from all of them.
So Amelia kind of wedges herself
stay in this room with you.
Or here.
No, is there like an empty shelf on the bookshelf, or can I like perch myself up on the bookshelf?
I will
How
say
big are the shelves. That's my question.
You take your arm and you find a space that's like this big. Doesn't really show that well on the camera. You just take your arm and just shove all the books onto the floor, and you just kind of crawl in, cross your arms, and just turn away from everybody.
Yay!
And that's where we'll leave it.
I could totally entangle her in there, but I'm not going to.
I'm just gonna.
Why?
I'm just gonna like.
You tried.
I'm just gonna meditate
again.
in front of the door.
You guys are so fucked up.
I'm just gonna meditate in front of the door like Jayaz does, and be like, I could have gone through this door instead of in the other room, but I guess we won't do that now, can we? Can we?
And
Can we?
Jayas is just gonna be over here.
I'm gonna be like, no, we can't.
By the other door.
Idiot.
And she's just gonna she's not saying anything to anybody now, and she's just gonna be going through all of her belongings, looking for a single piece of bread, and realize that there is none left, and she'll just have a terrible sadness.
Didn't you get stuff to make sandwiches though?
Did you?
Did I?
Yeah, you got stuff to make sandwiches.
I probably ate it at this point.
You did. You did bring stuff to make sandwiches, and all of it was pretty much non-perishable, so...
I've been eating the entire time that we've been going through this place.
So at this point, you have several dried cheeses. You have dried, cured meat, but you have no bread. So
much for her peace offering.
Do what you will with that. But that is where we will leave off for this. And we will pick up again on Sunday the 15th at 1:30 p.m. Pacific, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. And we hope to see you all.
Wait for this number. I always forget which is my hotkey to switch the screen over because I'm a professional.
We're good at this, guys.
So thank you to everybody who tuned in and followed. Oh, did I do it? Did I do it right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm
okay,
working the stream.
Yes,
Cool.
and thank you to our other 3 new followers, Maxstar1975, Menaminto, and Scooterwick.
Yes.
Thank you for the follow.
So,
We're up to 59 followers now.
Woo! Yeah, thank you everybody for the follows. Thank you to the Real Gygax for the donation. Remember guys, all this week we are collecting donations through CrowdRise. The link is in the chat, but it's also down below. Everything that we collect is going towards Stronger Than Storms and Random Acts, and they are currently helping all those affected by Hurricanes Harvey, Irma, Maria. They're really focusing their attention right now on Puerto Rico. That is absolutely devastated. And whoever donates, at the end of the week, everybody will be put in a drawing, and one lucky person will win one of these handmade custom chainmail dice bags that I do. They're usually worth like $75. So even if you donate $1, $5, you can get yourself something nice and shiny to keep all your dice in, or whatever you want to keep in it. Yeah, shiny! So with that, I think any other announcements? Adam already said we're playing on the 15th. Did anybody else have anything they want to say?
It's good to be back,
game.
Yeah,
Good to be back.
Again.
Don't forget
And,
to
wait,
eat your
I
bread.
do have something.
Okay.
What?
We have Twitter. We have a Twitter now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Indie Gamers Night. So if you want to follow there for updates as well as tweet at us, we'll be sure to chat back and come and hang out with us on the Tweety fans too.
Yeah,
So,
or if you want to chat with us one-on-one, our separate Twitters are also down below as well.
Yes.
Just remember to keep donating. We're doing all this for a good cause.
Yeah. Give us your hard-earned monies.
It goes.
Not
us,
it goes.
Yeah, it doesn't go to us.
any.
It doesn't even. Well, that's the thing I like about Tiltify and CrowdRise. It doesn't even pass our hands. It goes directly to them.
Directly.
They give it to people who are responsible with money.
Yeah,
not me.
not me who tried paying 3 gold for 3 ice creams. So,
that ice cream is my probably #1 highlight of this entire campaign.
I wasn't even there. What do you mean?
It was
That's
the highlight.
Just because it was so random, and then we just went with it.
Hey, but Charlie, we couldn't have had that happen if it weren't for you.
Yeah, if it wasn't for you DMing and coming up with our whole story,
If it wasn't for the
that
ice
would not have
cream
happened.
man.
So you still get full credit for that.
Alright, with that, we will sign off. Everybody remember to eat your baguettes and get yourself some ice cream.
And don't trust a person named
I
Jazz.
was just gonna say, don't trust people. It's
Okay, bye!